A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. You lost your edge, she lost the traction for you. That's how it works. What'd you think she was gonna do? Tell you she cheated? Men cannot afford to get complacent in relationships. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
And now your man,
Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 907th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of toxic masculinity, misogyny, and small bleep energy. It is Wednesday, December 21st of 2022. It is good to have you guys in today. Christmas is 4 days away, and I still have not finished my Christmas shopping. I don't have time to do much of anything, so it looks like Amazon is going to be Santa Claus. You know, it's interesting. Devin's trainer, who does a very, very good job, came to the realization that Amazon Prime is the real Santa Claus. And I can't say that I disagree. So, Merry Christmas, guys. Get your Christmas shopping done, and hopefully we all have a good Christmas. As always, let me make sure I'm actually on camera. There we go. As always, we are streaming live simultaneously to Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, mgdow.tv, DLive, manosphere.tv, Rumble, and in crystal clear, high-resolution 4K to Sharpe Stream, which is absolutely free on the App Store and the Google Play Store for iOS and Android. So however you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe Reality Live a part of your daily routine. Shout out to my guys in the chat, my sharpshooters and all. Got a great show in store for you today. Only thing we're doing today is we are reacting to the Brittany Renner interview that Pearl just dropped. It should be good. I haven't watched it. And so you guys are going to get my organic reaction. You guys are going to get my organic reaction to these videos, as I try to do most of the time. Before I get started, I'm going to address something that a lot of people watching live or maybe later on in the replay may not like. And that is all of the hate that Pearl is getting from within this community. Now, we all know that criticism from viewers is inevitable in this line of work. Comes with the territory, it's part of the gig. Criticism from within whatever community you're in is also inevitable. That's just how things work. Nobody is liked by everybody, nobody is hated by everybody, and that's really what gives content creation the polarity it needs to be entertaining. But I keep seeing and hearing people say that she's a fraud or a grifter or a hack and all this other nonsense. And listen, everyone is entitled to their opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and freedom of speech allows anyone to say anything about anybody for the most part. Name-calling and trolling, while annoying, it's not against the law. But what Pearl's detractors aren't acknowledging is that, like criticism, change is inevitable. And this applies to absolutely everything in life. Sports, your life, transportation. Everything is always in a constant state of flux. And if you do not embrace that change, not only do you get left behind, you end up missing out on things that could make your life better, easier, more convenient, and more enriching. I'm old enough to remember when email first came to prominence. And as crazy as this sounds, there were actually a good amount of people who didn't want to embrace it. Emails are not personal, they said. The U.S. Postal Service has been here for eons and it's reliable enough. Or my personal favorite, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, email turned out to be the genesis of countless revolutionary advances in the way we communicate and has changed the world. And those who didn't embrace email in its infancy saw themselves falling behind until they finally realized, oh, wait a minute, you mean I can communicate with my vendors instantly? I don't have to be waiting on faxes from my suppliers for 15 minutes while I still have no idea whether or not the purchase order's been signed. I don't have to use paper every time I communicate with my business partners. What the hell was I thinking? Sign me up. The same thing happened with cell phones. I remember this pushback too. It's too invasive. There's no privacy. Why do I need access to everybody all the time? True story, guys. This is exactly what people said. I was 17, 18 years old when this happened. And now, more than 2 decades later, a cell phone is essential. You can do your banking on it. You can keep track of your valuables. You can see what's going on in your house from anywhere in the world in real time. You can keep track of your health and so on and so forth. Outside of, I don't know, toasting a bagel, you can literally do anything on your phone. And I'm not 100% certain they won't be able to do that in the not too distant future. It wouldn't surprise me. There wasn't anything wrong with using a traditional phone, keep in mind. But people a lot smarter than I'll ever be recognize that handheld devices have infinite utilities and infinite possibilities. The same things critics said about emails were also said about the traditional phone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Same thing happens with the manosphere. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. People look around. The manosphere is broken. A red pill is a joke. Let's take it back to the beginning. Over the years, the red pill community has seen many, many evolutions. It started out as mainly pickup artistry. It was mostly about how to get laid as quickly as possible, as much as possible, for as long as possible. After a few years of Neil Strauss, Mystery, Owen Cook, the RSD guys, and so forth, the red pill then added the anti-feminism element. Websites like Return of Kings, which I wrote for years, The Rational Male, run by the Godfather Rollo Tomasi, and Illimitable Man, not only discussed how to pick up girls, spin plates, and manage rotations, they talked about the scourge of feminism and how it has destroyed the West. This was right around the time that the manosphere moniker was being thrown around and attached to this community. After a while, the self-improvement element was added as well. Personally, I credit Alpha Male Strategies for this. He was one of the first red pill content creators that I know of that actually told guys, listen, if you ain't shit, stop worrying about girls. Save your money, eat right, lift weights, educate yourself. AMS was one of the first guys who said, increase your value in order to increase your odds of success with women, and a slew of other content creators followed suit, myself included. Well, the next change, the next evolution that came along, was long-term relationship content from a red pill perspective. Now, this wasn't necessarily an evolution per se, because relative to the number of red pill content creators, a very small percentage of us discuss how to handle yourself in a committed relationship. We were the creators that were around during the PUA days. Yes, we had our black belt in women. Yes, we had mastered the art of short-term attraction for the purposes of short-term sexual success with women. But a funny thing happened on the way to mastering the art of seduction. We grew up. We grew out of pickup game and spinning plates and settled into relationships. And now some of us impart our wisdom to you about how to handle ourselves in relationships with our significant others. The manosphere has been around unofficially for, a shade over 2 decades, right? It has saved countless lives, it has changed countless lives, and has opened the eyes of millions of people to what's really going on within the construct of intersexual dynamics between men and women. The red pill community has been an essential element of Western men realizing their true potential for the first time in nearly 7 decades. It has taught men that we have more inherent value than women, provided we put in the work. It's taught men that pandering to women is absolutely not the way to attract them. I could go on all day about how essential the manosphere is on many levels, but if you're watching this, you already know this. Well, the latest evolution of the manosphere has been the most prolific, and that is taking the conversation to outsiders, talking to people who either aren't aware of the red pill community or are against it. The first 2 decades of the manosphere was, and to some degree, is still something of an echo chamber, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes communities do need to be echo chambers in order to drive points home without any outside interference to poison the message. But Kevin Samuels and Fresh and Fit were 2 of the first creators who took the conversation to the public. They were among the first who consistently put our talking points to the test by discussing them with people who disagreed with them, and that has changed everything. Kevin cracked 1 million subscribers. Fresh and Fit has over 1 million subscribers, and they're showing no signs of slowing down, right? And people are now seeing in real time that what we discuss here is indeed the truth. They have shown us a proven formula that not only substantiates our assertions, but also gets more eyeballs. And the more eyeballs we get, the more men are made aware of who we are and what we stand for. Well, someone who has taken that formula and made it work is Pearl. She's taken the Fresh and Fit model and has amassed nearly 830,000 subscribers. And 500,000 of them were over the last 6 months. She is doing what most content creators either can't or won't do, and that's one of the many reasons she's been successful. Another reason she's successful is because, get this, she's good at what she does. Anyone who watches her can clearly see that her skill in these discussions is really good, and she's getting better. Yes, it's taken her some time to hone her craft, and yes, she's made a few mistakes on her path to where she is now. She made a huge mistake when she did that Fresh and Fit video, and she absolutely regrets it. But we've all made mistakes in this business. I've made mistakes. Myron and Fresh, they've made mistakes. MLD's made mistakes. We all have. Pearl fucked up. She acknowledged that she fucked up, and she moved on from it. You guys give us a little grace when we fuck up. Why should we treat her any differently? But to deny that she is damn good at what she does is disingenuous at best and envious at worst. Now, she's gotten criticism. She's gotten criticism from commenters and viewers. And like I said before, that's normal. It's going to happen. Interestingly enough, she actually uses some of the criticism in her comments to improve the show, much like Myron does. She's got thick skin in that regard and really doesn't take criticism personally. That is a trait that she has that I do not. And you guys know this. Pearl also gets criticism from other creators, which again is fine. They are entitled to their opinions. But are other creators criticizing her because they don't think she does good work or because they're jealous? Look, the fact of the matter is that there are a lot of guys who have been at this for a lot longer than she has. And overnight, she has passed just about all of them. I'm not saying that this criticism of her is or isn't professional jealousy, but it wouldn't shock me if it was. Some people have called her a grifter because she did other content before she did red pill related content. So, what difference does it make if she's opening the eyes of men here in the West? Just because red pill content wasn't how she started doesn't mean she's a fraud. Most content creators change lanes at some point or another. And the best example I can think of was the late great Kevin Samuels. Kevin didn't start out as red pill content creator. He started out as a men's image consultant. Then Average at Best happened, and the rest is history. Does anyone call Kevin a grifter because he went from talking about fragrances and footwear to talking about women and their fucked up way of thinking? Of course not. Why? Because he was helping men. Well, Pearl doesn't help men. Wait, you mean to tell me that the discussions that she has with her guests doesn't help men to see how delusional women are even in other countries? You think that men who discover her for the very first time aren't then searching out other red pill content creators to further their understanding of female nature? Yeah, but she's just not as knowledgeable as she should be. Maybe, but I tell you this, she's knowledgeable enough. That much is obvious. And behind the scenes, she has shown a willingness to learn more about what we discuss so that she can become better. She recently tried to pay a content creator for his time to help her become more knowledgeable so that she could represent the community better. Her words, not mine. Just because you don't know all the stats and studies doesn't disqualify you from talking about relationships from a red pill perspective. Just because she's not an OG doesn't mean she isn't giving us incredible value, entertainment, and education with her podcast. Nobody is the gatekeeper of the manosphere. If you know your shit and can articulate it while also be entertaining, people will watch. No, she's not as knowledgeable as Myron or as well-versed as Rollo. But anyone who watches her can clearly see that she knows more than enough. If she didn't, people wouldn't watch, as the red pill audience is one of the smartest audiences out there. If she didn't know what she was talking about to some degree, people wouldn't watch. Period. Yeah, but she's a girl and I don't trust any female red pill content creators. Okay, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. We have seen clout-chasing girls come and go in this community for years. We've seen the tradcons. We've seen the red pill women subreddit. We've seen red pill women on YouTube. And we've seen women like Kitten Holiday sniffing around, trying to latch on to what we've built. And yes, I will admit that I made a huge mistake in this department with Tori. I misjudged Tori, or Torsha. I thought she was genuinely interested in helping us spread the truth about modern women and modern dating. But Torsha is little more than a groupie. As soon as I recognized this, I cut ties with her immediately. But I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that there's a big difference between what Tori does and what Pearl does. Regardless of what you think Pearl's intentions are or aren't, she is helping men. She is bringing awareness to men about female nature. The only thing Torsha makes people aware of are her fake tits and her over-processed blonde hair that looks like straw off camera. Okay, but she's doing this for the money. So, what's wrong with that? I do this for the money. She found something that she was good at, and now she gets paid for it. That is the very concept that drives the economy. If you can help people in some way, shape, or form, then you can make a very good living doing that. Pearl helps men to see the delusion of modern women in real time. There is nothing wrong with her getting paid for that. And if you don't like that, that's a you problem. Yes, I am well aware of the fact that Myron does not like Pearl. He has his reasons, and I agree with his reasons. That doesn't change my relationship with either one of them. Myron knew Kevin was my friend, and he stayed my friend. Myron knows Pearl is a good friend of mine, and it still hasn't changed our relationship. Rolo recently called Pearl a hack on the Saucecast. Rolo is also a good friend of mine, but I respectfully and vehemently disagree with Rolo. And as far as I'm concerned, we're still friends. At the end of the day, whether you're a viewer or a creator, you don't have to like Pearl or what she's doing if you don't want to. But as a viewer, you are cheating yourself if you don't watch her. She makes great content, she has A1 production, and her knowledge is expanding by the day. If you don't want to watch her for whatever reason, that's fine. But I'm here to tell you that you are missing out on entertaining content that is also very educational. From the content creator side, I got news for you. She doesn't need us. She doesn't need us, Red Pill. She doesn't need us, Manosphere. Not anymore, anyway. Pearl does not need our seal of approval to keep doing what she's doing. This woman has gotten interviews with Brittany Renner and Andrew Tate. And outside of Fresh and Fit, any Red Pill content creator would be doing themselves a disservice by not collaborating with her. Because I'll tell you, whether you like it or not, she ain't going anywhere. She's not. She's here to stay. So you can either embrace another evolution in this community that is clearly making a difference, or you can be a stubborn gatekeeper and bitch about what she is or isn't. But either way, I support Pearl 100%. She is a good friend of mine. She is as honest and genuine as they come. She works her ass off, and I trust her implicitly. She hasn't done anything to anybody but kick their asses up and down YouTube. And if we're keeping it 100, that's probably the reason for all the in-house hate. And that's the memo. Good to have you guys in here today. Already some super chats coming in. Let me shout you guys out before we get to the main event. Dre Raven is in the house. JBlaze11, Eben Zur. Vaughn said, would like to see her on the Sauce podcast. Yeah, she'll be on the Saucecast. She'll actually be on the Saucecast very soon. Of that, I am certain. Let's see. JBlaze says, attention and validation is a drug for women. You're goddamn right. Very good. Let's see. I thought there was a super chat. Vaughn says, like DS says, we all know we would smash. Yeah. A lot of, Brittany Renner is Brittany Renner's attractive. Brittany Renner is attractive. Every one of us in here would beat that down if given half the chance. So, Vaughn says, I bet PJ took his attorney to the finest steak restaurant. You better believe it. Jay Blaze says, "Ha feels like this will be good." Digital Dankness says, Pearl is getting her Red Pill game on point. Even got Britt to acknowledge some of it was her fault. I'm telling you, man. She's good at what she does. Like it or not, dude. She ain't going nowhere. Jay Blaze also says, Pearl being a woman talking about this stuff is also helping her. That's right. That's exactly right. She has a way, she's almost like a velvet hammer. If that makes sense for you. Let's see here. Johnny Green says, classic Donovan. Appreciate that very, very much. Mr. C73 says, tired of Brittany Renner. I'll hit the like. Yeah. Yeah, Brittany Renner will soon be forgotten. This is her 15 minutes of fame has lasted a little bit longer. But being a side chick, being a side piece, it's not a good long-term plan for success. Vaughn says the hate is from the playbook being exposed, waking men up, ruining women's second option, aka the nice guy. That very good. Ibn Zur says no one amasses that many subscribers without any skill. Exactly. Call her whatever you want. She's good at what she does. Black Lemur 2009 says she's a giant, cute stuffed animal. Yeah, Pearl's adorable. She really is. She's adorable. And dude, her and Devin absolutely love each other. They absolutely love each other. Geeky Anomaly says, yes, you can toast a bagel with your phone now. Jesus Christ. Yeah, she visited Coach Greg Adams when she is down in Vegas. Very good. That one, Carla says, I feel bad there are some divides between this community creators and Pearl. I am ignorant on why they wouldn't like her because she is perfectly fine in my eyes. Hope all stays well. I mean, I feel bad too, but guys, Pearl didn't need us. She doesn't need us anymore, man. Pearl doesn't need us anymore. Dude, she's on a rocket ship to the moon. She's past just about all of us. And like I said, if you don't want to collaborate with Pearl for whatever reason, fine. That's a you problem. Black Lemur says, I tried the Brittany Renner side chicks. They are delicious, as side chicks tend to be in small doses. All right, so let us... Okay, all of a sudden my mouse doesn't want to work. Let us get to the main event. So, Pearl recently sat down with the lovely and not-so-talented Brittany Renner. I'm going to try to get through the entire video. I think I probably can. It'll take some patience and it'll take some wherewithal, but we are going to do it. Without further ado, Pearl versus Brittany Renner. Here we go. Yep, it would help if we could hear it, wouldn't it? There we go.
Welcome to the Just Pearly Things YouTube channel, and welcome to Sit Downs with Pearl, where I sit down with some guests from my show. We talk about different stuff. Today, I have a special guest, Brittany Renner.
Hi.
The man, the woman, the myth, the legend. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. So, today, we're going to talk about... You are one of the most notorious people in the manosphere.
Okay.
And I think that I kind of represent that average viewer that, knows a bit about you, but not the whole story.
What's the
so
whole story?
I was hoping to start from the beginning.
Oh, boy.
How did this reputation come about?
Oh, wow. I'll pause it there. Morgan Jones with the $2 Super Chat says, facts, Donovan. Excited for the show. Terrell Xavier says, Rolo's critique was she doesn't study. I don't like Torsia, but her interview with Michael Certain was on a level Pearl can't go now. Terrell, my friend, you don't have to study. You don't have... That's again, Rolo's a good friend of mine. That is an unfair critique. You don't... Dude, I didn't study. I didn't study to be good at what I do. No, I speak literally from personal experiences. You don't have to be well versed in all the stats or statistics to be qualified to talk about this stuff. And like I said before, anyone who watches her has clearly seen that her knowledge it increases by the day. It increases by the day. Nobody studies in the red pill. Nobody, well, if I'm going to be a red pill content creator, let me study. No. She's got 830,000 subscribers, Terrell. If she didn't know what she was talking about, then she wouldn't have the viewership that she has. And for you to say that her interview with Michael Certain was on a level Pearl can't go now, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Dude, Tori is a red pill groupie. She's about as smart, dude, honestly, man, she's about as smart as my cat. in terms of content creation. I don't know. I mean, listen, if that's your opinion, that's fine. I strongly disagree with you. Dude, she is eons ahead of where Tori will never go. I have no idea what on earth you're talking about. We must be talking about two different Tories. Because the Tori that I see and still see on a level Pearl can't go now is Torsha getting interviews with Brittany Renner? Is she getting interviews with Andrew Tate? No, she gets interviews with whoever she can ride the coattails of Rolo to. I appreciate the super chat, but I respectfully, strongly, and vehemently disagree. Let's continue.
And do you feel like it is deserved?
I do feel that it's deserved because what I've come to understand.
What? Stop the presses. Did she just say that she feels that her reputation is deserved? Wow.
Is that I have misrepresented myself for a very long time.
Oh, boy.
And I would say that my villain origin story was I had first moved to LA in 2014, was linking up with someone after my breakup with a guy I was with for 4 years. And TMZ put out an article and claimed that I said I was pregnant by Colin Kaepernick, right?
Wait, okay, so you're with a guy for 4 years.
We break up.
From high school?
From college.
From college.
Yeah.
And you said 18?
18 what?
When you moved at 18?
I moved to LA in 2014.
Oh, 2014.
14, yes.
Okay, and how old were you?
I think maybe 21, 22.
Okay, 21, 20. And you were dating Colin Kaepernick at the time?
I wouldn't...
Hooking up?
Whatever.
Lincoln?
Here we go. The womanies has already started. She moved to LA, went to college, had a boyfriend for 4 years and cheated on him with Colin Kaepernick. I don't know why it is beyond me why women just don't call it what it is. I slept with Colin Kaepernick. Like, just say it. I slept with Colin Kaepernick. What's wrong with that? I had a boyfriend, I was in a relationship, and I hooked up with Colin Kaepernick while I was in a relationship. If she's going to be accountable for her reputation, then why not be accountable for everything? And now she's saying she misrepresented herself, as if to say that her actions the last, I don't know, decade plus are not indicative of who she really is as a person. Ay. Johnny Green, member for 13 months. Let me give you a Don DeMarco for that. Says, I keep confusing Brittany Renner with Brittany Griner. Yeah. Two very different people in very, very different situations. Same skin tone, though. Jay Blaze says, just say you want to fuck Tori. Yeah, Terrell, yeah, listen, if you think Tori's attractive and you want to smash her, just say so. But to tell me that her interview with Michael Certain was on a level Pearl can't go now, that is laughably ignorant. What on God's green earth are you talking about? Holy smokes. He said, Torsha spent 2 hours talking and debating evolutionary psychology, the why women do what they do. Okay. So what? That makes her on a level that Pearl is not on now? No. Tori's a groupie. Tori's a groupie. Nothing more, nothing less. She presents herself as a groupie. She wears a groupie's uniform. She is a groupie. I don't care. I do not care at all. Secondhand Truth, welcome to Chat Privileges. At Secondhand Truth, to welcome him or her to the TSR family. Secondhand Truth, if you would, put your age and location in the chat. Terrell Xavier says she isn't attractive at all.
Stop the cap.
Come on. Of course she's attractive. Listen, man. Tori is a groupie. There is no question about it. But to deny that she's attractive, to me, that's disingenuous. Like, come on. Like, okay, listen, Tori gets on my nerves. She irritates me. But that doesn't mean that I can't acknowledge that she is attractive. Like, come on, guys. Come on.
Lincoln. Let's just say Lincoln.
Sneaky Lincoln?
Jesus.
At the time.
Sneaky Lincoln. There it is. Cheating.
And with that, they had photoshopped a picture. I had like posted him for like my Man Crush Monday. This is like...
Hang on a second. I'm sorry to have to do this, but let me go back. Let me let that all play all the way. So sneaky linking is basically cheating, I think. So listen to how she tries to talk her way around escaping the fact that she cheated on her boyfriend with Colin Kaepernick.
Dating Colin Kaepernick at the time?
I wouldn't...
Hooking up?
Whatever.
Lincoln?
Let's just say Lincoln.
Sneaky Lincoln?
At the time. And...
Unbelievable.
With that,
Yeah, Dre Raven says she also spent 5 minutes. Yeah, she also spent 5 minutes on her last screen with Don talking about tentacle porn. Yeah, dude, seriously. Come on. And dude, 75% of her talking point, dude, actually, 75% of her talking points come directly from Rolo. Come on, man.
They had photoshopped a picture. I had like posted him for like my Man Crush Monday. This is like Instagram a long time ago when there was Woman Crush Wednesdays, Man Crush Monday.
I remember those.
You remember that?
Yeah,
So
okay.
so I had posted him and I put like perfection and then I added him. And again, why I posted on my Instagram? Great question. But someone had photoshopped the image. Media Takeout, I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they had posted it and then TMZ ran the story. Ooh. And I felt like from that moment on, I was labeled a villain. Okay. And you have to understand, I was in a relationship for 4 years. Like, most people know the white guy that I used to date. We used to post together. He's the reason I got into fitness. And I was already labeled a villain, a whore, and was accused of something that I didn't do.
And so what did you not do? So they were
So
saying
I had put perfection at his username, and they photoshopped it to say preggers at his username. So they were like, saying, this girl claims that she's...
They were saying that you claimed that you were...
Yes.
Okay.
And I actually looked it up. I have a screenshot too. I looked it up last night to see if the article was still up, and it's still up. So at that moment in time, I realized that even though per society standards, I was someone who, low body count. No, I had not talked to any famous guy, never been around. I had a big...
Stop the cap.
Low body count? Brittany Renner expects us to believe that she had a low body count before she became a villain. I would subscribe to you that the less people know about you, the less celebrity you have, the easier it is to get and collect sausages. Here's another thing. She's trying to blame somebody else for her future behavior. She said, well, somebody photoshopped this and that. And listen, whether what she's saying about what they said about her is true or not, her being pregnant or preggers or whatever, that's immaterial. That's immaterial. Whether that's true or not doesn't matter. What she is doing here is she is giving us an excuse. She just took accountability. She said, yep, I deserve the label. But now she's backtracking and saying, well, the reason I became a villain is because they made me a villain, so I may as well act like a villain. If Brittany Renner just kept it at that, the TMZ story, let that run its cycle, then you can go on running and living your life. But no, what did she do? She said, all right, well, if I'm going to be a villain, let me just be a villain and smash just about every dude in the industry that I can and then write a book about it. No, Brittany. No, celebrity doesn't change people. Like money, it reveals who you are. You had promiscuous proclivities. Somebody put you, whether they rightfully did it, accurately did it or not, somebody put your name alongside someone of celebrity. You use that celebrity to go and smash other celebrities. It would be different if this was the only incident that had happened with TMZ or whatever. But the next decade, all this girl did was hoe around. This is who she was. This is who she was before the TMZ article. For her to sit here and tell us, you know what, the label, yeah, it's legit, but then tell us, well, the reason why I am or I played the villain is because TMZ did X, Y, and Z. I may as well go ahead and do it. No, sweetie, no, that doesn't fly. That doesn't fly. You could have left that alone. You could have let that story die down. They would have moved on to the next one. But what did you do? You went and hopped from sausage to sausage to sausage, wrote books about it, conned PJ Tucker into putting a baby in you, and now you're going to say that the media made you a villain. No, sweetheart. No, you made yourself a villain. You made yourself a villain. No, the media is not fair with everybody. Okay, so TMZ got you. Or whoever. Somebody photoshopped something and made you look like something that you claim that you weren't. Okay, I get that. One time is perfectly fine, but you continue to do it over and over again. And to blame the tabloids for your behavior is piss poor. Indicator with the $5 super chat says, even Fresh said he's never read The Rational Male and still friends with Rollo. I don't think Fresh has ever read anything. He's not a reader. Fresh is an observer. Age of Machine says 2 questions in and the lies and womanese already started. Proves 3 red pill truths in less than 30 seconds. Yeah, you got that right.
Big following. An ideal situation, right? Starting out in.
Terrell Xavier says, watch that interview and tell me she's a groupie. That girl has read a ton of books. I'm not going to watch the interview. She's still a groupie. Dude, she's still a groupie. That's my opinion of her. She is a groupie. She's Rollo's groupie. I'm glad you subscribe to her, and I'm glad that you don't think she's attractive. We're just going to have to agree to disagree, my friend. But I know more about her than you do. I know more about her than you do. And if we know anything about women, Pearl included, what they put on the screen is very, very carefully procured.
In Hollywood, already labeled a whore, a liar, a gold digger. So when I think about how my origin story began, like my villain origin story, it was that. Because it's like, I haven't even done anything and I'm already misunderstood. So I think as time progressed, I really just tried to fake it till I could make it. And inside, I never, like especially in high school, like growing up, I never felt like I was just top tier beautiful because I just wasn't. You know, I was growing into myself. I always had really bad skin, over-fried my hair, always wearing extensions, never feeling pretty as even my natural self like where I am now.
Her natural self, even to where she is now? I'm just going to let that sit.
So how I started even like posting videos and being maybe like overly sexual was because I was like, I want to feel like this bad bitch.
So again, I've only seen like clips of you.
Okay.
I've seen a couple car rants. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you a couple car rants. I know you released a book.
Yeah, in 2018.
Yeah, and I know that.
Yeah, King Life says fake being a 304 to make it as a 304. Yeah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. It's just what I said before. She was always a 304. She was always a hoe. Well, they labeled me a hoe, so I guess I may as well be one, and I faked it till I made it. So let me get this straight, Brittany. You didn't really want to be a hoe, but you decided because they labeled you a hoe, you may as well be a hoe, but that's not something you really wanted to nor knew how to do. Look, sweetheart, I got news for you. Women don't have to fake being hoes. Women don't even have to try to be hoes. All they have to do is decide to. What Brittany is trying to tell us is that my inner character, is not really a hoe. But I faked it till I made it to play the character. Dude, nobody buys that. Street Fighter 88, welcome back to Chat Privileges. At Street Fighter 88 to welcome him back to the TSR family. Street Fighter 88, if you would, again, put your age and location in the chat. Mike Hawk, $10, says she's a terrible person who moves through the world with pretty privilege and is now trying to be viewed the tragic villain. I know what the acronym is. I got to keep it clean for YouTube. Charles Xavier says I was banned by Torsha because she said she was homeless, and I said no young woman is truly homeless. Exactly, Terrell. She said she was homeless. And you're right, no young woman is ever truly homeless. She also lived in Vegas for a time as well and swears up and down that she was just a bartender. But those details are fuzzy too. If you go back and watch, when I pressed her on it, she glazed over that. Tori is no different than the average rank-and-file modern woman out here. And neither is Pearl. Pearl is not some unicorn. Pearl is not some exception to the rule. Pearl is a woman who acknowledges her nature, and she makes very good money doing as such. That's what she does. But Terrell, that's exactly why you need to think, okay, so she's read a few books and she talked about evolutionary biology or psychology. So she's not dumb. Doesn't mean she's not a groupie.
I saw the stuff you did with Fresh and Fit, PJ Academics, like there's little interviews here and there.
Yeah.
So when we go back to you said 2014.
Yes, 2014.
When you're in LA. So then did you start?
Yes, and like Kiki said, Tori got to hang out with Certain because Rollo and Certain are cool. Exactly.
Dating Kaepernick?
I would just say that I started like dating, period. Like I kind of just opened it up. It's not like we were exclusive, whatever. So I would say that the villain came about was I was a small town girl from Mississippi. Like to even be in certain rooms with people where it was unheard of. I never thought.
I was a small town girl from Mississippi. Oh, poor innocent me. You gotta be kidding me. She's trying to make herself say, "Oh, I didn't know any better. I was a small town girl from Mississippi." Give me a break.
These guys would even know I existed. So I felt like there was still that like starry-eyed element where I didn't know what I was doing. I felt like I had been like thrown into Disney World, so to speak, right? Like the world is at your fingertips, and again, all of these high-value men are now seeking you. And again, I'm a girl from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. People don't even probably know where that is.
So now she's making excuses. So now she's making excuses as to why she was a hoe. She was a small town girl from Mississippi who was starry-eyed and didn't know any better. And all these high-value men preyed upon her. I didn't know any better. I was all starry-eyed. Sweetheart, you know exactly what you were doing. You know exactly what you were doing. For you to try to characterize yourself as this innocent, sweet, little, naive girl is ridiculous. Terrell, I'm not talking about Tori anymore. I've given her way too much oxygen. Just drop it. Subscribe to her, watch her, whatever. I don't care. I'm not talking about her anymore.
So I think that's where.
Yes, victim mindset to Street Fighter 88. She's still not taking accountability. Dre the Dreams. She's rationalizing being a hoe. The reason why I was a hoe is because I was labeled a hoe, and I was a sweet little innocent girl from a small town in Mississippi, and all of a sudden, all of these high-value men wanted relationships with me. No, you got pounded out by athletes and celebrities and rappers, and you knew exactly what you were doing. Stop it.
Over-sexualizing myself and really pitching into that. That's like the whole bad bitch, like wanting to feel like something I didn't.
So were you sleeping with a lot of these guys? And then like posting stuff on social media? Okay.
No, actually, like I said, besides that post where I had, made him my man crush Monday, I didn't even say that we were dating. It's not like I was like, hey, look at me, here I am at a game, or here I am at his house. Like, it wasn't that. It was just, that's how everything started out.
Okay, so I'm just trying to understand, because there's one article that's a one-off, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Uh-oh, it sounds like Pearl is about to move in for the kill. She sounds like she's about to move in for the kill. She's about to say exactly what I said. She's about to say, I think, exactly what I said. Okay, so the article, the TMZ thing, okay, that happened. You got to let that go. But how do you explain all of the activity after that? How do you explain if that's not really who you are, then why did you act like that for the next decade plus?
You can kind of recover from one article, in my opinion,
anyway. Look at this. This is unbelievable.
But there was more that happened in between.
Yeah.
What happened next?
Because I'm saying this because this is literally on like TMZ. So after that, when I was talking to him, I kind of moved on because I'm like, whatever, you're robotic.
Smashing him, not talking to him.
Move on. Kind of got caught up with Trey Songz. So TMZ was like asking him questions about, because like my fitness group was like the Fit Thick Army. So then I was linked to him, right? Okay. So then that's kind of where it just started to.
So she didn't smash Trey Songz? Is that what she's saying? And Vaughn says she knew to move to LA. She was 100% aware. Absolutely. I'm just a small town girl from Mississippi. Yeah. Who moved to Los Angeles, which happens to have a high concentration of rappers, athletes, people in the industry. She 1,000% knew what she was doing. Brittany Renner, listen, man. Listen, Brittany Renner was never naive, guys. She was never naive. And I tell you guys all the time, girls learn at a very, very young age what men really want from them. And as soon as they figure out what men want from them, it's almost like they instantly know how to get what they want using that as the bait. Brittany Renner, dude, Brittany knew exactly what she was doing. She knew if you were from such a small town, why not move to Tallahassee, Florida? Why not move to Seattle, Washington? Why not move to, why not move to a small, nope, she moved to Los Angeles, the entertainment capital of the world. Shane will win. $5 says the world doesn't owe you an understanding. Kevin Samuels, absolutely. Rida says, I got John Cougar Mellencamp playing in my head. That's funny.
So then you started.
Shit wouldn't work out. I would move on.
Okay.
And then, yeah, like I especially when I first got on social media, it was a different place, right? Early 20s, guys from all over. I mean, it was just, I would entertain one at a time, though. That was like my thing. So it was like when I'm.
Stop the cap.
I was entertaining one at a time. So she would have us believe that she was never smashing more than one at a time.
Stop the cap.
Sorry, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Your actions, you don't get to write a book about all the dudes that you've smashed and then expect us to believe that you were only smashing them one at a time. Sorry, doesn't work that way, Brittany. Doesn't work that way. This is, it's almost as though this is like a redemption tour, like a character redemption tour, right? She's trying to, she's trying to disclaim responsibility here. She's trying to disclaim responsibility. I'm not the villain because I was faking it till I made it. I didn't want to be a hoe, but TMZ said I was a hoe, so I said I may as well be a hoe. I'm a small town girl from Mississippi who was in LA around all these high value men. Wendy Jesus with the $10 super chat says women move to be independent. Very good, Wendy. Very, very good.
I'm done with you. I'm going to move on. And then it just became unsuccessful relationships, and I moved on.
Okay, so it was just like you were linked with rapper, entertainer.
A lot of my shit was public, and I feel like that's where a lot of people are like, she's a whore, but it's like there's articles where someone took a picture of me at the movie theater with a guy. That's out of my control. So I would say now,
that's out of your control that somebody took a picture of you with somebody at the movie theater. It is under your control what you do. If you are seen with guy after guy after guy with little to no break in between, Brittany, you're going to understand that if these guys are high profile, people are going to see you as a hoe. That's just all there is to it. Number one, and she's using the wrong terminology. Brittany Renner was not a whore. She was a slut. Whores get paid for fucking. Whores get paid for fucking. Sluts give it up for free. Brittany Renner was a slut, not a whore. But let's just go through her dating history here. So this is the white guy. This is the white guy that she dated, Casey Turow. I assume that's pronounced. Oh, there we go. There's the late, great Kevin Samuels. Colin Kaepernick. Look at this. Trey Songz. Chris Brown. Tyga. Ben Simmons. Dude, I don't even know who this dude is. Caesar Chukwuma? Dude, Lil Uzi Vert. Drake. James Harden. Oh my God. Jamal Murray. PJ Washington. Kevin. I mean, dude. Brittany Renner got passed around, man. Brittany Renner got passed around. She got passed around. Look. If you date a bunch of high-profile guys, you are going to be seen as a slut. You don't have control over the way people see you, but you do have control over what you do.
You know, when you've kind of figured out how the world works, you try to be a bit more mindful about who you even step out with, but you can't control if people take pictures of you.
Were you posting it?
Yes, but you can control dating dude after dude after dude. Look, she's right. She's right. You can't control what people do, but she had already put herself in the limelight.
Any of these guys
No.
yourself? So you never posted?
No, because
them yourself?
we weren't exclusive.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to post some.
Yeah, Corinne Steffens reincarnated. Yeah, I said this before, the last time I talked about Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner is the new superhead. She's the new superhead. In 5 years, she will be the new superhead.
Somebody that's my man. Again, I'm a 21, 22-year-old posted that Man Crush Monday. That's obviously very childish, right? But all these other guys, I didn't post them on my page. So.
And so then basically, because you were linked to all these different guys.
Publicly, yes.
Publicly, now that's when the reputation started to build. Then, so this is where, so then the book comes. Tell me.
2018, yep.
And from what I know, I haven't read the book.
Okay.
What I know of the book is that you basically exposed a lot of people in the book. This is just what I've heard. You basically, all the stuff you'd been doing, you put in the book. And while you might not have said their names exactly, it was pretty easy for people to figure out who they were.
There you go.
Okay, well, I didn't expose anyone.
Here we go.
My book was like a 25-year-old memoir, basically. And I didn't list all of these sexapades. So there were seven people, fake names.
There we are. Fake names, but as Pearl said, the details she gave about these guys with fake names made it very obvious who she was talking about. That was not an accident. Good on Pearl to mention that.
7 relationships, like situationships, whatever you want to call them, and what I learned from that. So there was a lot of, my book was about sharing my story and being accountable. The most like salacious stories or sexapades, they weren't even in there because it wasn't, a lot of these guys, it was
you
a
can
pivotal.
tell now if you want.
I'm sorry?
I said you can tell now if you want.
Yeah, I mean.
I'm just kidding.
So I mean, it's just kind of like, that was never my intention. My book never had ill intent. Now, again, I know the salacious.
Stop the cap.
Her book never had ill intentions. Ay. Oh boy. It was childish. I didn't have any ill intentions. And Vaughn is, dude, I'm about to ban Vaughn. I'm about to ban you, Vaughn, because you are taking exactly what I say out of my mouth. Perfect example of a woman self-destructing when left on their own. Exactly. Brittany Renner was a young, attractive woman who had the attention of high-value men. And look where she is now. She's America's favorite slut. Number one. Number two, you didn't take accountability in your book. You absolutely wanted to expose these men. And the reason she wanted to expose these men is because they called her what she was, a whore. Or, not a whore, a slut. I'm pretty sure she wasn't getting paid, but she was a slut. You were a hoe, 304. Brittany Renner was mad that everyone in the industry was talking about how they had passed her around, and her way to get back at them was to write this book. That's why you wrote the book. I don't know, and here's the thing. If that's the reason she wrote it, I mean, that's not what I would do, but on a human side, I can understand that. You guys know me. Sometimes, most of the time I can't really control my emotions when it comes to that kind of stuff. You guys know I take more things personally than necessary. I would understand that. Hey, you know what? Dudes passed me around. They were talking shit. I was feeling some type of way. I wanted to get back at them. This was the way I got back at them. But no. She did it for self-cleansing. It was a memoir of me taking accountability. No, it wasn't. This was your get back. That's it. Plain and simple. This is almost like Superhead trying to explain how she got the name Superhead because she was made like this adjunct professor. I did a video on this. You guys got to watch the video. Well, it's because I have this brain and I'm an adjunct professor, so I figured Superhead. Nobody buys that. Nobody buys that. The reason why Brittany Renner exposed these men and talked about them is because she is a misandrist. She genuinely and truly hates men. She does. She genuinely and truly hates men. That's why she wrote the book.
Just marketing was intentional because I knew people were thinking I'm gonna.
It's like a thumbnail.
Yeah, it's clickbait. Like, look at all these guys are in here. Yeah, because I know you're gonna fucking buy the book. But when people actually read it, any person who's read my book is like, wait, this is completely different than how you pitched it. And
so let me get this straight. So you put a bunch of guys on your book. There's gonna be a bunch of guys, but then it was totally different. This woman is beyond comprehension. She is beyond she's beyond. Like, this one is dodging accountability like Neo is dodging bullets. The book was absolutely salacious, and the reason she did it was to get back at the men she detailed in the book. Oh, I didn't mean to. It was just a memoir. And yeah, it was just clickbait to sell. No, that wasn't clickbait, sweetheart. You delivered on your promise with the thumbnail. You delivered with your promise on the thumbnail.
It really is a book about accountability. So,
Street Fighter 88 says, I still remember that video Donovan made with the thumbnail of Kevin breaking up with Brittany. Yeah, that was fun.
Those 7 people really helped.
Oh my God.
Were like pivotal moments for me.
Oh my God.
So again, I took what came with the salacious marketing. And again, misrepresenting myself is just that, right? So you have to accept what comes behind that. So I wanted to sell a book. I had no problem with doing, using my tactics to get copies sold. And what came with that is she's not trustworthy. She's a whore. And that's all she cares about is money. She's just a quick money grab.
So you misrepresented yourself by acting in a way that's not yourself. So in order to... Like, she literally just contradicted herself. She misrepresented her. She misrepresented herself in order to get the bag. Both things can't be true. She's telling us that I wasn't really a hoe, but I acted like a hoe. But when I wrote the book, I didn't want to be seen as a liar and untrustworthy, even though I exposed private details about the things that had happened between me and these 7 anonymous men. Even Zuer says she's saying what her PR rehearsed with her behind the scenes. Yep. Yeah, nobody buys this. This is bitch babble. This is bitch babble on steroids. I'm sorry. Mental gymnastics, says Jason Moreno. Yeah, mental gymnastics and bitch babble. This is insane. Wow.
Like, she's the girl that cannot be trusted. And I understand that. If you've never read my book, it's like what I'm saying doesn't even make sense. It's like you would actually have to physically read it. That's why the book is called Judge This Cover.
And she's still trying to sell the book. Oh, maybe I have Brittany Renner all wrong. So let me buy this book. That clearly illustrates the fact that she is untrustworthy and a slut. And maybe that'll change my mind. That's it. Nope. She's still trying to sell the book. Secondhand Truth says she's got whole TikToks validating these claims of her being a 304. Brittany Renner has put out, she's been this way for so long. It's impossible for her to shake this reputation, guys. It's impossible. We know who and what she is. And for her to be sitting here and expecting us to believe that that's not who she really was, she's insulting our intelligence. She is insulting our intelligence, and she further insults our intelligence by saying, if you don't believe me, buy the book. Fuck out of here.
I do that anyways. There are people that just took little snippets from each chapter
Oh boy.
and judge me off of that. You're talking about this guy, I was talking about spitting in his mouth or paying for flights. That was one that was circulating on Twitter. I talked about how I paid for my own flights. Okay. So it's like, if I'm such a gold digger, why am I paying for my flights?
Stop the cap.
You didn't pay for your flights, Brittany. You got flown out. Do you have receipts of your flights? Do you have receipts of these flights? She has, dude, she's got receipts of everything else. She's got receipts. She's got receipts of her smashing this dude or being in a relationship or situation with that. What about the receipts for your airline tickets? This is why Brittany Renner is clearly a woman who thinks that just because she says it, we believe it. She's like, if I'm such a gold digger, then why am I paying for my own flights? No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that you were paying for your own flights. Nope, sorry, don't bother that. I don't buy that. John Doe, $2 says, where's the polygraph machine when you need one? Girl, dude, women are such good liars. Polygraph tests are useless. That's why you need womanese.
Mm-hmm. So there's just things in there that I felt like people did not want to understand me. You didn't open the book, so your opinion doesn't fucking matter about the book. Read it and then tell me how you feel about me, you know?
No, sweetheart, we know, listen. We don't need to read Brittany Renner's book to know who and what she is. We don't.
That's kind of how I feel with that.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
So then you write the book. Were any of the people that were in the book mad that you wrote the book?
That's a yes. That's a yes.
The conversations I've had, because there's maybe like two guys in there that I have not spoken to, right? The other 5 I've had conversations with since. One of the people had actually asked me to market them as one of the people in it. They didn't mind that. Okay. Other guys in my life.
And what is the name of that person? What is the name of that person? If this guy were so gung-ho about you marketing, about using his name for marketing, why can't you say his name? You see, this is why we know Brittany is lying. No guy wanted to be in that book, yet here she is telling us, well, actually, one of the guys wanted me to use his name for the marketing. Like, get out of here with that. LDU Lifestyle with 500 KESs, okay? Says, Mr. Donovan Sharpe, love from Nairobi, Kenya. Every time I see Brittany Renner anywhere, the first word that enters my mind is shaitan or succubus. Absolutely.
Life, just in general, were asked, like, why they weren't in it. They were, like, sad, right?
Oh, my God. But, dude. I'm going to... The only way I'm going to get through this video... The only way I'm going to get through this video is if I can't acknowledge every morsel of bullshit that comes out of her mouth. Like, I can't, because for her to sit here and say that there were guys who are disappointed that they weren't in the book, Brittany, come on. Brittany, really? No, every guy you talked about was pissed off that they were in the book. Nobody wanted to be in the book. Nobody called you, hey, Brittany, why am I not in the book? Cam Newton told you he ain't smashing because he didn't want to end up in your book. Jesus Christ, dude, all this woman does is lie. It's ridiculous.
Most of the guys I have a good relationship with, like, we're still cool. So they understood that was my experience, that was my perspective, and
that was your truth?
Was that. I mean,
that was your truth, huh?
There was one chapter I spoke to recently. He was like, I was just waiting for you to say my name so I could have sued you for everything, right? And I'm just like, well, that wasn't my plan. Like, I wasn't trying to hurt you. But he was like, I understood your perspective, and I get it. He said you didn't lie in it. So. Oh
my God, I understood your perspective, and you didn't lie. He did not say he understood her perspective, and no, she probably did not lie in the book. What she just said was a whole lot of nothing. Unbelievable.
Okay, so none of the guys had hurt feelings over the book.
No.
Okay. Well, so that seems, because I kind of thought,
Pearl doesn't
like, from what I had heard, is that some of the guys maybe weren't happy they were in the book.
I'm sure they weren't, but I think the people that weren't happy about it, the 2 that I'm thinking of in my mind, I just haven't spoken to them.
Okay.
You know, the other 5 I did. So
the reason why you haven't spoken to those other 2 is because they're pissed off that they were in the book. Pearl, like, she just contradicted herself. She said, nope, nobody, let's run this back. She said nobody was pissed that they were in the book. And then she said no, but then she said yes, there were, listen.
Like, people did not want to understand me. You didn't open the book, so your opinion doesn't fucking matter about the book. Read it and then tell me how you feel about me, you know? That's kind of how I feel with that.
So then you write the book. Were any of the people that were in the book mad that you wrote the book?
She just asked her, were any of the people that were in the book mad that you wrote the book? Answer?
The conversations I've had,
That's a
because
no.
there's maybe
See?
like
Here we go.
two guys in there that I have not spoken to, right? The other 5 I've had conversations.
2 guys I have not spoken to. That gives her the plausible deniability. So now she can tell us, well, I don't know if those 2 guys that I haven't spoken to are pissed. Number 1, number 2, she says she hasn't spoken to them. That doesn't mean that they haven't communicated with one another. That doesn't mean that they haven't texted her. Do you see how she is carefully plotting this? 2 guys I haven't spoken to. She said the word spoke. That doesn't mean she didn't text. That doesn't mean they didn't Snapchat or whatever app. She wants us. So again, do you see how Brittany thinks she's good at hiding the truth in plain sight? Just because you haven't spoken to these men doesn't mean you haven't heard from them via text or any other form of communication. So that's a lie. LDU Lifestyle with the 500 KES says, yes, that's her truth. Just like my truth is that I'm Clark Kent. Yeah, exactly.
Conversations with since. One of the people had actually asked me to market them as one of the people in it. They didn't mind that. Other guys in my life, just in general, were asked like why they weren't in it. They were like sad, right?
Other guys in my life asked why they weren't in it. They were like sad. You want to know why other guys in your life were sad? Is because they weren't celebrities. She thinks she thinks she is so slick. She thinks she's so slick. The other guys in her life that were sad that they weren't in the book, number 1, that's cap. Number 2, if she's telling the truth, these men were nobodies. These men were nobodies. These dudes were nobodies. That's why they wanted to be in the book. She's trying to make us think that Trey Songz or Lil Uzi Vert said, "Hey, why am I not in the book?" No, man. These were the nobodies you dated.
But most of the guys I have a good relationship with. Like, we're still cool. So they understood that was my experience, that was my perspective, and that was that. I mean, there was one chapter I spoke to recently. He was like, I was just waiting for you to say my name so I could have sued you for everything, right? And I'm just like, well, that wasn't my plan. Like, I wasn't trying to hurt you. But he was like, I understood your
No, you weren't trying to get sued. That's what that was.
Perspective, and I get it. He said you didn't lie in it. So.
Okay, so none of the...
He said you didn't lie in it. That's probably why he was pissed. So remember, she's going to ask the same question again. Watch.
The guys had hurt feelings over the book.
No.
Okay.
None of the guys had hurt feelings over the book. Her answer was no.
Well, so that seems... Because I kind of thought, like from what I had heard, is that some of the guys maybe weren't happy they were in the book.
There it is.
I'm sure they weren't, but I think...
There it is. I'm sure they weren't. So either they were happy about it or they weren't. I'm sure they weren't. Do you see how carefully she uses that? She's not making anything definitive. She's not saying they were hurt or they were not hurt. They were pissed or they were not pissed. She says, I'm sure they weren't. Again, this kind of language gives her plausible deniability. This is not an accident, guys.
I think the people that weren't happy about it, the 2 that I'm thinking of in my mind, I just haven't spoken to them.
Okay.
You know, the other 5 I did. So
There we go. I just haven't spoken to them. No, you haven't spoken to them, but you've damn sure communicated with them.
you know,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how they.
Drew Faraz with the $2 super chat says, so the guys weren't mad, but one wanted to sue you? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There you go. There you go.
It would feel.
So
now.
you don't think like, because I'm just thinking, I just know how the guys are gonna.
What Pearl is thinking in her mind is, this is bullshit. Of course they had a problem with it, and that's probably what she's going to say here.
See it like you're choosing to publicly link with these people, and maybe you didn't want it to be public, but it's like if you're making a choice to go after the like rappers, athletes, like that sort of thing, of course people are going to call you a hoe.
And that's fine.
Yeah. And no, that's the thing, you don't shy away from that.
Yeah.
But it goes back to my original question, whether you think it's earned or not, or it's like misrepresenting you or not.
Well, I think.
Oh my God! Wow, dude, Pearl is. She really is the silent assassin. We thought Allie was the assassin. Pearl is the assassin. Pearl Pearl just said you wrote a book that verified that you were a hoe, but then you said that the reputation was earned, but that's not really who you were. Wow.
There's that I have misrepresented myself because, again, Bundle of Brittany is like her own, that's like a Frankenstein I have created.
Oh my God. And now she is trying to separate her real self from her Instagram self. She's trying to tell us that who she is in public is not really who she is.
Right, and that's like a fraction, even just the time we've spent the past few days together. Probably very different than what you've seen online, you know? So that's what I have used to get views.
But Brittany, sweetheart, never
mind. And get clicks, and I've realized that I don't have to do that anymore.
There it is, see? Well, the only reason I acted like a hoe is because I got views and clicks. That's the, no. People pegged you as a hoe. You really are a hoe, and you realized I may as well lean into this. Give me a break.
So that's where the misrepresentation comes in. But again, a hoe, and I guess is in this sphere, right, is someone who has sex with multiple guys. Okay, well, then that's not a term I'm going to shy away from. I've had sex with multiple guys. Now, I'm not going to take that word and be like, I'm so unworthy, I'm a whore. Yeah. It just is what it is. Like, that's how they want to distinguish what category women fall under. I got no problem with that. That's fine.
Okay,
I've had sex with multiple guys. It didn't work out. I moved on, you know?
Yeah, it didn't work out. You moved on, and you wrote a book about it. It didn't work out, and you wrote a book about it. Oh, by the way, yes, that is Brittany Renner with Andrew Tate. That is Brittany Renner and Andrew Tate. And yes, Pearl did an interview with Andrew Tate. Pearl had Brittany Renner and Andrew Tate at her place at the same time. Say whatever you want. Say whatever you want. Say whatever you want. Manosphere gatekeepers, Manosphere content creators who think she's this or that. You ain't doing this. You ain't doing this. You ain't getting Andrew Tate and Brittany Renner in the same room at the same time. Sorry. Like I said, hate her if you want to. She's not going anywhere. She does not need any of us or our approval to continue doing what she's doing. That's all there is to it.
Okay, so that part you don't necessarily feel like was misrepresented based on how the guys would see it.
How they would see it.
Okay.
I get it.
Okay. So
there
then next, this is where I heard of you first.
Okay.
Let's talk about PJ.
Okay.
So you do the book. Is PJ next, or is there something in between?
Meaning like when we met?
Yeah.
So we met. He actually came to my hosting in 2018, May of 2018. So that's like physically where we first met. It was not romantic. Like I literally had a job there. He's like, hey, I'm gonna come by. Okay, cool. He invited me to his game at UK, February 2019. Right. So we met. I went back for my birthday, so I went to 2 Kentucky games, and that's when we first started talking. Like after my birthday, we talked almost every single day. And I was aware, like, he's younger than me. I always had a lot of judgment towards guys who were younger than me because I'm like, you're younger than me. How can you handle me? You know, right? But I always felt like PJ saw me for me. And that is the fucking God honest truth.
Oh, wow. And that is the fucking God's honest truth. Well, because she said it's the fucking God's honest truth, it must be true. Right? No. PJ wanted to fuck you, Brittany. You're a good-looking college girl. He wanted to smash, or you're a good-looking woman. He wanted to smash. That's why. He didn't see you for you. LDU Lifestyle with the 200 KES that says she's just doing damage control at this point. Dude, she's been doing damage control for the last 2 years, and it's not working. Ryan Bark with the $15 super chat says, bless you, brother, for the great breakdown. I don't think I can listen to Renner much longer. I do it for y'all.
It makes me sad even thinking about it. Because, like, I don't know, you just think people get you and it just doesn't work out. So that's why I overlooked some of those things, like the age. Oh, he's about to be in the NBA. I overlooked that.
And there it is.
Because I felt like, oh my God, I finally have a guy who doesn't judge me, who sees me for me and like accepts it and
This is so
understands
funny.
my value.
This is so funny. This is so funny. This woman is sitting here trying to, this is a made-up story, guys. This is either a made-up story or she's leaving a lot out. The long and the short of what happened between her and PJ Washington, the only reason why she gave PJ Washington any play is because he was going to be a first-round draft pick. He played at the University of Kentucky. That's NBAU. Anybody who watches the NBA draft, John Calipari's always got 3 or 4 players going in the first round. He's always there. Brittany gave PJ Washington the time of day because she knew he was going to be in the NBA. That's why she did it. PJ Washington was 18 years old. He didn't know any better. You see, there's a reason. And Miami J says, understands my value, what value exactly. There's a reason. There's a reason why industry girls like Brittany Renner don't go after the LeBron Jameses or the Kevin Durants or the Kyrie Irvings of the world. There's a reason why they target the younger NBA guys. It's because the younger guys in the NBA don't know the game yet. They don't know the game yet. Or that used to be the way it is. Now they definitely know the game. They definitely know the game. Yeah, they're still fucking up in this and that and putting babies in bitches they have no putting babies in. But they know more than they did then. So what Brittany decided, she's like, you know what? PJ Washington's a college kid. He has no idea. He has no idea what the fuck the deal is. He has no idea what the fuck the deal is. Brittany Renner targeted PJ Washington. She used him as a target. That's what it was. She couldn't get over on anyone else. So she targeted a college kid who really didn't understand his own value. And now we have a kid. And yeah, understands his value. Yeah, exactly. Come on. Fuck out of here. Dude, women don't have value until they're with a man of value. I'm not trying to hear that.
I felt like he was somebody that like deserved all my time and attention. And
no, you felt like he was somebody who was dumb enough to put a baby in you. As you said in one of your Twitter videos about it's easy to get knocked up by NBA players. She said it on her video. She said it on her video. She says, hey, if you want a bag, just fuck NBA dudes. They don't use condoms anyway. She said that. She said that. She absolutely said that. She just did it on another level. She got to an NBA star before he was an NBA star. She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly what she was doing. And this whole, it makes me sad because I feel like he saw me for who I was. That's all cap. That's all cap.
You know, it just didn't end up working out long term.
Mm-hmm. So, and how old was he when it started? How old were you? Because this is the narrative.
He was 20.
I've got a million questions about you.
About the age thing, and I'm so glad you brought it up.
About you grooming. Like, they said, because
that I'm a pedophile.
This is clearly something that she's probably rehearsed with her PR people.
What, just to give context to the viewers at home, if you guys don't know anything about Brittany, I saw a video of you where you were in the car saying this is basically how you can get a kid off of an NBA player.
There it is. She got her. That's it.
And it's really easy because these guys don't wear condoms, and it's something to that effect. Mm-hmm. So then, a couple years later, when you have a kid off an NBA player, it's not a good look, right. And especially that he's a lot younger than you. So what did you feel like was misrepresented there?
So to give a little bit more context to the video too, especially I think I made this video in 2018, and I was in my car ranting, like I always do. And people were saying that, you're a gold digger, you're this and you're that. And my way to defend myself.
Was that when you also said that you pay for your own flights too? I would have to go to my archive and play the video in its entirety to be able to.
Oh, in its entirety. Here we go. Now she's pretending I don't recall. I don't recall. Now she's saying she doesn't recall. Devin, if you would, find me that video of Brittany Renner in her car discussing how to get knocked up by NBA players, if you would. But yeah. She's Vaughn says, let's see her wiggle out of this. She's going to try to wiggle out of this by claiming ignorance. The first thing she led with was, okay, it was in 2018. So that indirectly tells us, well, it was a long time ago. And it was such a long time ago that I couldn't possibly remember what I said. This is how she is going to attempt to skirt accountability.
To confirm that,
Okay.
because there were other times I talked about paying for my flights. But in that video, I was saying that if I really was a gold digger, I could have several kids by now. And so it was an attempt to make a group of people look bad, and I made myself look even worse. Because I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I'm a gold digger. These athletes don't use condoms. I could have a baby by then, right? It aged horribly, right? and I don't ever try to deny that, and I don't do apology tours. It is what it is. I said what I said. Like, that was my truth. That was my experience.
Here we go. My truth, my experience. No, she was right. It's the truth. It's the truth. She told the truth. It's easy to get knocked up by NBA players. It is what it is.
People that I was encountering, it's not even like an athlete thing. A lot of guys don't wear condoms. But
Here we go. Now she's trying to expand the circle. It's not just NBA guys. A lot of guys. Nah, Brittany. No, sweetie. No. We're not talking about a lot of guys. We're talking about what you talked about.
Why in like 2000?
Here we go. So let's go to this. Video. Let's go to this video where she talks about not using protection here.
18. That's any of your fucking business or why it matters. But 24. 11 athletes. Woo! 5 entertainers. Woo! 8 regular guys. Woo! I've only fucked 3 regular guys since I've been Instagram famous.
She didn't provide any receipts or names, but listen to her rant.
The worst people to deal with are the athletes. None of them use condoms, really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, you could just fuck an athlete. They're really dumb.
Did you hear that?
There it is. Yeah, if any one of you want to come up off a check, fuck an athlete raw, they're really dumb. I think that's pretty clear.
Evil laugh.
Surprising to me that people of such high status were a little bit more reckless, right? And for
Because you think they have so much to lose.
Yeah, I guess
like,
that's exactly what it is, right? It's like, why do you trust me, right?
Yeah.
And as a young person, and you're not even young person.
So in your head, you were saying, like, fuck the haters. I could have a kid. That none of these people.
So now Pearl is bailing her out a little bit. And that's fine. That's fine because again, she is the interviewer. She's the interviewer, right? She can't come with all the smoke. She's got to throw her a lifeline every once in a while. She has to throw her a lifeline every once in a while. I'm not going to fault her for that. Good on her.
If you want to,
This is how Pearl maintains the trust of her guests. Is she gives them just enough rope to hang themselves with and then hands them an olive branch and then gives them more rope, rinse and repeat. Because if it's just nothing but smoke and you did this and you did that, you're going to make the interviewee uncomfortable and she's not going to be as forthcoming.
wanted to catch a kid by an NBA player.
It's really easy because they're dumb, right? So that's where the context of that video, right? And then I met PJ, like, we started talking when he was 20 years old. We have a 6-year age gap.
Okay, so you're 26.
Yeah.
20.
At 20 years old, PJ Washington was projected to be a top 5 pick. You don't think Brittany knew that PJ Washington was a top 5 prospect? She went after PJ Washington. She didn't go after PJ Smith. She didn't go after PJ Smith on the college campus. Nope. She went after PJ Washington. She knew what she was doing.
I'm 26. I'm thinking 20-year-olds are pretty immature.
But I'm telling you, when I met him, I just felt like, and like,
this is funny. This is so funny. Pearl is telling her, listen, I'm 26 now. I was your age. Like, I'm your age 20-year-olds are very immature, and she's going, I'm telling you.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
He had an old soul.
Oh, my God.
That's how
He had
I thought about him.
old soul. Listen, you can tell that Pearl is not buying this. He had an old soul. Translation, I knew he would be worth millions in a few short years. For Brittany to deny that for Brittany to expect us to believe this bullshit, again, this insults our intelligence. It insults our intelligence, man. Does she actually think that we buy this? No. No. She knew exactly what she was doing. She targeted PJ Washington. There is no question. He had an old soul and he saw me for who I really was. No, he didn't see you for who you really were, because if he did, he'd have left you alone. He wouldn't have married you. Ibn Zur said, let's call a spade a spade. She preyed on the young man. That's exactly right. She preyed on PJ Washington, guys. I don't think there's any question about that. And for her to sit here and give us this roundabout bullshit story about, I just felt all of this blah, 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 it's ridiculous. Mac, who's been a member for 1 month, says Pearl... There we go. Says Pearl is just giving her all the rope. Then Mac with another $5 super chat. I appreciate that very, very much.
So a lot of people tried to, I don't know. I feel like they tried to tell me how I felt and my intentions. And it's I know the truth. I know the person that I was sitting across from at BJ's when we had our first date in Kentucky and Lexington. You can't tell me that, you know?
I personally...
See that? She says, you can't tell me that. And she's right. We can't tell her what her intentions were because we're not in her head. We're not in her head. But the fact that she divorced him, 2 weeks after she had the kid? She didn't have to. She didn't have to. This woman preyed on a naive young man. She preyed on a naive young man.
I really think 20 is old enough to make your own decision.
Yes.
I put myself when I was 20, and I'm thinking you can't really be groomed at 20 years old. But for some reason, I feel like back then they said
you can't be groomed at 20 years old. Now, this is where I will disagree with Pearl. You can't be groomed at 20 years old. Okay, I'll give you that. But you can be finessed. You can be finessed. Let's just change the language. Brittany Renner finessed PJ Tucker. That's what happened. She finessed him. If we want to stay away from the predatory language, okay, that's fine. Listen, man, at 20 years old, yeah, you know what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. But, dude, she finessed a naive college kid headed for the NBA. Like I said, there is a reason these Instagram hoes go after young NBA players. It's because they know that they don't know the game. They know they don't know the game. Brittany knew PJ didn't know the game. That's why she got her hooks in him.
that something about you met him in high school.
I did not even know he existed.
Of course
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't. And honestly,
did you see him play in high school?
never.
Oh,
I don't. But that's what I'm saying. The $200,000 a month, the meeting him when he was in high school. Again, even when I first was I met PJ when I went to Kentucky. I was talking to someone who played on the Nuggets at the time. And it was someone that I kind of had a history with. And when I met PJ...
That's Jamal Murray. That's Jamal Murray. She said, when I met PJ, I was talking to somebody who was on the Denver Nuggets. Yeah, you were fucking someone. You were fucking Jamal Murray. That's what you did.
And...
She was fucking Jamal Murray. See, here's what happened. She was fucking Jamal Murray. But because she couldn't run the gambit on Jamal Murray, she decided to run it on PJ Washington. I don't know why I call him PJ Tucker. She decided to run it on PJ Washington. Let's verify this here. I'm gonna look up Jamal Murray and I'm gonna look up PJ Tucker. Let's see, PJ Tucker. Oh Jesus, PJ Washington. PJ Washington is now 24 years old. Okay, let's look up Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is not much older. Jamal Murray is only 25 years old. Jamal Murray is only 25 years old. But Jamal Murray clearly understood what Brittany was trying to do. He understood what she was trying to do. What Jamal was going to do, he was going to smash it until he couldn't smash it anymore, and then discard her. But Brittany figured out, okay, Jamal kind of understands what's going on here. I need to find a sucker. Yep, Street Fighter 88 says it. Jamal Murray wasn't trying to marry her. No, he wasn't. Jamal Murray was just trying to have some fun. So Brittany decided to play the long game and targeted a younger player who was not yet in the NBA. See, Jamal Murray was already in the NBA, so he already knew what was going on. Even though there's only a 1-year age difference, Jamal Murray knew what was up. He's like, yeah, man, like, this is an industry hoe. Like, I'm not trying to knock you up. I'm not trying to marry you. So she said, oh, okay. I'll go after the college kid.
And we had that.
Hey, shout out to Allie D in the house. Merry Christmas to Allie the assassin.
Connection. I immediately cut the guy from the Nuggets off. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I have my own shit going. I did not know he existed when he was in fucking high school. What? I'm pulling heavy hitters. What am I worried about a fucking kid in high school for?
Yeah, there it is. Dude, she is literally telling on herself. She's telling on herself. I'm pulling a heavy hitter. Like, that is some sort of accomplishment. I'm fucking an NBA player. What am I worried about PJ Washington for? I'll tell you why. Because the heavy hitter that you were fucking knew that
she belongs to the streets.
And when he made it clear through his words and or his actions, either directly or indirectly, she decided to hit the eject button and look for another sucker. That's why she cut it off with Jamal Murray.
But that's where people just make up their own shit. So it's like, well, I can't really. You guys are going to say what the fuck you want to say. All I can do is sit here and tell you the truth, you know?
Tell you the truth.
So 20, you guys start talking. When did you get pregnant?
I got pregnant.
And you were with him for how long? Were you guys dating or were you like linking?
No, we were exclusive when I got pregnant. So we talked from February 2019 to February 2020. Now, I don't know what he was doing, who he was doing it with, whatever. But we started dating February 2020. I left California April of 2020, and I moved in with him. I had my own place, but I was staying in his apartment. We were basically kind of living together already. He asked me to move in with him in the summertime. I got pregnant August 2020. So we had been a year and a half at least familiar with one another, but exclusive probably those 6-8 months.
6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
And did you say, was the child planned?
Yeah. I mean, my son is Paul Jermaine Washington III.
Oh, that's funny. Was this child planned? Absolutely. You better believe he was planned. Whoa, she didn't hesitate there. Was this son planned? Oh, this is funny. I hope Pearl's follow-up question is, was this planned by the both of you? Listen how quickly she said, oh yeah, listen.
His apartment, we were basically kind of living together already. He asked me to move in with him in the summertime. I got pregnant August 2020.
Listen.
So we had been a year and a half at least familiar with one another, but exclusive probably those 6-8 months.
6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
And did you say, was the child planned?
Yeah. I mean, my son is Paul Jermaine Washington III.
Okay.
Like, he has his father's name.
You guys sat down and said, I want to have a kid.
Yes. And I was on birth control for 10 years because I never wanted to
Jesus Christ.
go through an abortion.
I was on birth control for 10 years. Here you go. She just gave up the game. I was on birth control for 10 years, but as soon as I found a dude who is willing to put a baby in me, that's when I came off birth control. I mean, it is incredible. She is literally telling us what her plan was. Heads Up Fiction with the $7 Canadian says Pearl is quickly becoming a master of her craft. She is playing this woman like a fiddle. Love your stuff, Donovan. You inspire me to man up in life. Thank you. I appreciate that, and thank you for the support. Yeah. Yep. She said that the pregnancy was planned. She says that and Pearl asked her the right question. So did you two sit down and talk about it? Yep, sure did. Yep, we planned to have a kid. So either way, listen, she either talked PJ Washington into having a kid because he's naive, or she got off birth control without his knowledge and got knocked up.
It was just me personally. I'm like, well, if I can prevent it, and I'd rather be safe. And again, like, I'm hot, I'm popping, I got shit going on. I'm definitely not trying to have anybody's child, right? So I got off birth control. And there was a conversation, got off birth control, I got pregnant. So it was.
There was a conversation with who? Conversation with who? Conversation with PJ? Or your obstetrician?
Wasn't some oops, I came in you and you got pregnant. Like, no, it was, I want a family, I want a child, we're gonna get married.
Has PJ ever done like interviews on this?
No.
At all? No. I'm just curious, would he say the same thing?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
I mean, the truth is the truth. You know? I mean, there's some things like, again, we can share perspective,
right,
but the facts of the matter are, he was planned. So that can't even be disputed. You know?
Yeah, see, now I know she's lying. Now I know she's lying. Because she keeps saying, I'm telling the truth, this was a fact. This was a fact, and it can't be disputed. Why would it be disputed, Brittany, if it's the truth? Devin says, living for someone for 2 months and go off birth control? Yeah, exactly right. Dre Raven says, planned, more like premeditated. Yeah, this is clearly a lie. This is clearly a lie. And I think the reason why PJ Washington doesn't talk about it anymore is because he just doesn't want to have anything to do with her anymore. He doesn't. He really doesn't. He really doesn't. I don't believe for 1 second. I don't believe for 1 second that PJ Washington sat down with Brittany Renner and said, let's have a child. Let's start a family. No 21-year-old man who is either in or about to be in the NBA would never sit down with the likes of you. And by the way, he probably knew she was smashing Jamal Murray. He wouldn't sit down with you and say, let's have a child. Nope. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Jason Moreno with the $20 super chat says, that was straight predatory behavior right there. Women talk about this exact thing when men speak about their preferences. It sounds to me like she's lacking some serious self-worth for not dating men her age. No, men her age were up on game. Men her age were up on game. That was the problem. She couldn't run this scam. She couldn't run this scam on anyone who had been in the NBA. She tried to run it on Jamal Murray when he was a rookie. But his homeboy sat him down and said, hey, yo, check this out. Maybe it was Nikola Jokic. Hey, check this out. In Slovakia, right? They have these what are called rookie symposiums now, specifically in the NBA and the NFL. The rookie symposium it's like a class that all rookies have to go through to let these guys know. They're like, hey, your life has changed. You guys are young millionaires. Life is going to be good, but you are going to be targets. You're going to be targets. Women are going to target you. Women are going to try to baby trap you. Here's how to avoid it. Then, of course, you've got guys that you play with putting you up on game. Hey, man, I remember years ago, my teammate with the Supersonics, he got baby trapped by an Instagram model. Or somebody, a friend of mine plays for the Dallas Mavericks, he got baby trapped. Right? So Jamal Murray was already being told what the game was. PJ Tucker hadn't sniffed the NBA yet. He had no idea. Had no idea. But she wants us to believe that she sat down with a 20 to a 21-year-old man and decided to start a family. 20 years old.
I always thought PJ was like kind of quiet and more to himself. So I don't actually see him ever really doing an interview. Like, I feel like now when we broke up, how everything panned out was like very public and out of character from what I knew of him. But I don't foresee him doing an interview. I don't.
Okay, so you guys break up.
That was a very good question by Pearl. Would he say the same thing? But it's funny how she says, listen, he would say the same thing, but I don't foresee him doing an interview.
Or no, you're together. Tell me, how'd you guys split up? And you can be as detailed or not detailed as you want. You don't have to go into...
Okay. there were some things, like, so I had never gone through anybody's phone. And, like, because at the time I was 28, right?
Girl, you were dealing with athletes?
I never went through anybody's phone.
Never.
Except PJ's.
Okay.
Yep. Because
Stop the cap.
Oh, this is funny. So Brittany Renner wants us to think that she'd never gone through anybody's phone.
I felt like if I have to go through your phone, I already have my answer, right? And I'm not doing that. I'm not playing fucking detective, right? So I went through his phone. Again, this was the summer, like, a few months before I got pregnant. Found some stuff in his phone I didn't like. Nothing confirmed. I mean, you're just entertaining bitches. Like, okay. I had never been cheated on that I knew of.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. She said this was a few months before the summer, so I think maybe there's some timetable confusion because it sounds to me like she discovered this before she moved in with him. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. Jen Redacted, welcome to Chat Privileges. At Jen Redacted to welcome him to the TSR family. If you would, Jen Redacted, put your age and location in the chat.
Right? And
shout out to Nick Foles. Shout out to Nick Foles. We call him Saint Nick here in these parts. The Colts have benched Matt Ryan, and Nick Foles will start for the Colts for the remainder of the season. Oops.
And I found out stuff that, like, he had sex with someone in the beginning of our relationship. But this was in March. You slept with this girl. I found out July. I had already moved my whole life. I'm already here. Okay, well,
you moved from LA.
Yeah, because I moved from Woodland Hills. I had a condo in Woodland Hills, and I moved all my whole life to Charlotte, North Carolina to be with him. Right?
Okay.
Oh, so by then he was already drafted.
So I found out some stuff. I'm like, okay, you fucked this girl in March. All right. I love you. And I know what you've seen growing up. I've never forgiven anyone because I've never caught anyone cheating on me. But, like, I understand your family dynamic, so I can, I choose to understand and to forgive you.
Translation. I couldn't break up with you or divorce you because I hadn't gotten the bag yet. She discovered that PJ was cheating before she got pregnant. I forgive you. So you forgave him. You forgave him because you know what he grew up with and this and that. No, sweetie. You forgave him because you wanted to get the bag. Unbelievable. She's sitting here trying to virtue signal like she did PJ a favor by forgiving him for stepping out on her. KMO with the $50 super chat says a woman's past does matter, not just who she's been with, but her overall upbringing in general. That I agree with. Red Genome, welcome to Chat Privileges. At Red Genome to welcome him or her to the TSR family. Red Genome, if you would, put your age and location in the chat.
And so one of my best friends, when we were talking about how we were, like, basically trying to get pregnant, she was like, do you think it's a good idea? Because you just found out all this stuff, right? Like, the voice of reason, right?
Unbelievable.
And she's like, I don't think that's a good foundation. And I was just like, no, I trust who I'm with. Like, I get it. Like, we've talked about it.
I trust who I'm with, even though he cheated on you. So he cheated on you, but you decided to take him back because you loved him and you trusted him. This is incredible. This is incredible. She actually thinks that we believe she took him back because she actually loved him. No. She took him back because she hadn't had the kid yet. She hadn't secured the bag yet. Ay, ay, ay. DJ Berserk with the $2 super chat says, this video needs a cap counter. You got that right. Jesus.
Understand, and he is younger than me, right? He's younger than me. I'm gonna try this. I've never done this, but I'm just gonna try to overlook it and move on. So with that knowledge, again, this is where I take accountability too. I saw behaviors, I saw red flags, and I still chose to move forward. And it's because I loved him. I don't know, I believed in him. And
no, you didn't. No, stop capping. Stop capping. This is all cap. This is all cap. She stayed with him because she hadn't gotten the bag yet, period.
I guess that's where I'm a foolish woman, because I just chose to believe in him.
Yeah, girl, that's La La Land. Respectfully, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like, and we talked about this a little bit before.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like an NBA player, faithful. I've seen him. I've said this before, but I've seen him at the D3 level. D3.
The nerve.
No.
The fucking nerve.
No, I mean, I just saw those guys would like move around campus, and it's like, that's Division III basketball. I'm thinking Division I has to be madness. The NBA has to be madness.
Yeah.
And firsthand, you've been dealing with these guys for like a decade. You know it's madness.
It is.
Ooh, the subtle jab. Like it.
And that's just where I kind of just take it on the chin, and I'm like, I believed in someone and it just didn't work out. Mm-hmm. And I know, and he knows, the conversations and the consistency that I thought, you know, like this was more than enough for me to trust it.
This is too funny. This is so
I just believed in him.
No, you didn't believe in him. You didn't believe in him. I just, this is incredible. This is incredible. She wants us to think that she forgave him. The reason she forgave him is because she loved him. Unbelievable.
And
Yeah, Devin says he cheats. She moves in. She finds out and says, hey, let's make a baby. Yeah, exactly. Like, what sense does that make? You find out he cheats, then you move in with him and get pregnant because you believed in him. Jesus Christ.
I can accept my responsibility in that for overlooking certain things that really I should have paid more attention to.
Oh, stop.
Why didn't you ever look for like just a normal guy with like a 9 to 5? Because it's just, guys will always say, like, pay attention to what they do, not what they say. And and it's like, a lot of times we'll complain about getting, like, cheated on or something, right? And then, you know, we overlook the 9 to 5 guy who won't.
Busy as he 87 with the $2 super chat says, take it on the chin. This is a very good question by Pearl.
I would say that, I mean, my first boyfriend I met in college, he was a regular guy, and I loved him to death. I had dated a lawyer during that span.
Who broke up with who? College guy.
She did.
I broke up with him because it got abusive on both ends.
Oh,
but this
good God. Oh, my God. I broke up with him because it got abusive on both ends. Here we go. And you see how she tried to halfway take accountability? Abusive on both ends. He was abusive, but so was I. Jesus.
This is just from the guy's perspective. Like, they're going to be like, okay, well, that was the guy who wouldn't cheat, but you dumped him.
There it is. See?
It got to a place where he was very he was condescending and emotionally really abusive. And then it got to a place where you're pushing me, now you're bruising up my arms, and now I'm putting my hands on you because I'm trying to defend myself. And I just felt like the respect was gone. It had nothing to do with whether you cheated or not. It was we are very toxic together.
Here we go. The go-to card for modern women. He was abusive. He put his hands on me. That's why I broke up with him. Like, dude, give me a break. Come on, man. Come on. This is all cap. But then let's not let this little nugget slip away. She said she dated a lawyer after that. Here's what happened. She met the lawyer while she was dating her boyfriend, and she left her boyfriend for the lawyer. That's what started the hypergamy step up. As soon as she dated the lawyer, she knew that she could never date anyone below a lawyer at that point. And yeah, Shane Wilwin says, did you file a police report? Of course not. Of course she didn't. And of course, we don't know who this guy is. He's not here to defend himself, etc., etc. But here we go. He put his hands on me and da-da-da-da-da. Get out of here, man. Give me a break.
Do not foresee us moving past.
Trucino says, hold up, pay attention. Didn't she talk about how NBA players are stupid because they have sex with girls raw? So, by proxy, you already knew what the fuck was up. Yeah, exactly. She was on birth control. She got off of it without his knowledge and had a kid.
This. Like, I feel like once, this is me, once that respect is lost for whatever reason, and then now y'all putting your hands on each other, it has to end because there's only one way it's going to end. It only gets progressively worse. In my opinion, in my experience, I'm not trying to find out either. You're putting your hands on me, doing all that other stuff. I don't want to see what you're capable of.
Did you file
This is all up. Here we go.
a police report at all or no?
No.
Got her. Got her. There it is. There it is. Did you file a police report or no? Nope. She didn't. And look at the expression on the face of Brittany Renner. Look at it. You know what that expression says? You fucking bitch. How dare you ask me that question? How dare you ask that question that almost, that most assuredly torpedoes my entire story? How dare you? Yes, Ms. Renner, if it was really that bad, if it was escalating, then why didn't you go to the cops? Did you go to the cops? No. Here we go. Here we go. Unbelievable. Of course she didn't go to the cops because it didn't happen. Wrecking Testes with the $2 super chat, interesting handle, says, quote, abusive is a term women use as a scapegoat. Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Look at her. Dude, look at her face. She is positively pissed that she got asked that question. Unbelievable. Drew Fraz, $5 super chat, says Donovan just said earlier when he covered the wild whale on Pearl's show, she wants to completely avoid the question by deflecting to Isuba. Yeah, that's what they do. Yep, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. She is pissed.
Because, again, it's just...
Look at this. She has no... Oh, this is so funny. She has nothing else to say. Listen to this. Listen to her. Watch this. She says no, and she closes her mouth. There's no rhyme, no reason. She's not telling her why she didn't call the cops. She just said no. Watch.
For whatever reason, and then now y'all putting your hands on each other, it has to end because there's only one way it's going to end.
Funny.
It only gets progressively worse. In my opinion, in my experience, I'm not trying to find out either. You're
all of this, see, we all know that this is all cap. And Pearl just, she microwaves this chick.
Putting your hands on me, doing all that other stuff. I don't want to see what you're capable of.
Did you file a police report at all or no?
No.
Okay.
Look at that. No. Look how pissed she was. And she doesn't say anything after that.
Because, again, it's just like from... Like, a lot of times we'll say these things about guys, but it's like, the question is, like, me, if I'm getting punched in the face,
Well, I wasn't getting punched in the face.
Here we go. See, now Pearl got specific. So now Brittany can deny what it was. So what I think is about to happen here is they're about to start playing chess. Okay? Pearl is going to mention, I'm assuming she's going to start mentioning forms of physical abuse. Well, if I was insert getting XYZ, well, that wasn't the case. Well, and then we're going to keep going back and forth until she finally sharp angles Brittany, and she might have to change the subject.
It was more so you were like bruising my arms and pushing me down and little stuff like that. And if he would have punched me in the face, that would have also be a different thing. I've never been hit or punched anything ever. So yeah, I feel like it was leading up to being punched in the face. But bruises on my arms to me is a little more than enough.
And then you never hit first?
I slapped him. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but you would agree that's like mutually abusive.
No, that's what I said. I said it was. I never said it. Oh my God, no! Like it got to a place where I'm like, all right, now I'm about to start putting my hands on you too.
And that's the thing, like
unbelievable, man, unbelievable. Red Genome with the $5 super chat says she's playing victim to dodge accountability and to be owed something. Jason Moreno, member for 31 months, says, no, the fuck you didn't. No, she didn't. She called it little stuff.
I think a lot of times you actually do, agree with like a lot of the stuff I say, which is interesting.
Really? Why?
I was just expecting to disagree with you on like everything when you came.
Yeah.
On some level, but no, you actually are more based than I thought you were going to be.
I like what you talk about. I think that it's foreign to me because, I would say probably a lot of females as well, because I can honestly say, I'll speak for myself because I don't speak for everybody, but I never thought about it. I never thought about how men feel. I never thought about, biologically speaking, what makes sense. I never thought about how in marriage, you know, especially if the man makes more, that it's kind of a shitty contract on their end. I know business. That doesn't make sense, you know, unless we're signing prenups, right? So it's just like, since I've been listening to your content and I knew I was going to get on here, I've started to like you a lot more, right? It's easy to just kind of take a clip from you and be like, oh my God, she's this, she's that. I personally like you. Like, your personality is why I got on a 7-hour flight. And I knew that even though I may not agree, and I think that, and not even about agreeing, even though I may not just limit it to just that, like that perspective, I respect it. And I think it's true. There's really not a lot of stuff I think is untrue. And I just have told you, even when we were speaking off camera, that this is a newer mentality. I don't know what this mentality would mean to society as a whole. We kind of talked about the arranged marriages and what would that mean for society as a whole, right? And I can't remember the verbiage you used.
Now we're getting off into the weeds. CJP, $5, says her body language is dry snitching her a lot. Yeah.
When we were talking.
Gender Dacta said she's got that homeless perm. Yeah, doesn't she? Doesn't she? Truchino says, sidebar, Donovan, do you have any idea on how this collab happened? I haven't been in these YouTube streets for a while. Well, in case you haven't been around for a while, Just Pearly Things has blown up, my friend. She is closing in on 830,000 subscribers. She has built a massive following, and the interview you are watching is just one of two she did that week. The other was with one Andrew Tate. So Pearl has come a long, long way, and there are a lot of people in this community who don't like it. There are a lot of people in this community, other content creators, they don't like that she's having success, but they talk shit about her. They talk shit about her. They talk shit about her as a ruse or a thinly veiled. How can I put this? They talk about her in such a way that lets you know that they are clearly envious of her success. That's what it is. They say they say all kinds of things about her, but it's not based on anything. She hasn't done anything to anybody. She hasn't done anything to anybody. The only mistake she made was she made that video about Fresh and Fit. But that was when she had, what, 700 subscribers? She had 700 subscribers or something like that. She knows she fucked up. She knows she fucked up. She admitted she fucked up, and she moved on. But outside of that, she hasn't done anything to anybody. Yet, people are calling her a hack. They're calling her, a clout chaser. She's not welcome in this community. To me, it's little more than professional jealousy. A lot of content creators in this space can't stand it. They can't stand the fact that Pearl's been at this now in this space for, what, less than a year, and she is blown by just about everybody. That's really why they talk about her. That's really why they talk about her. But I support her 1,000%. Like I said earlier, Pearl is a good friend of mine. She is as honest and as genuine as they come. She works her ass off, and I trust her implicitly. I really do. I believe her intentions to be pure. I think her intentions are to make money and make good content, and she is doing both hand over fist. Grease Junkies DIY says, I'd still smash, though. Okay.
Talking about how the arranged marriages and how women, if we had dreams and stuff we wanted to explore on what that outcome would look like. You said the term, I don't remember the term you used, though.
I don't remember what
but no, it's like, I get it. And all I can do is just be honest about, like, this is the expression that that is coded within me. And I am willing to accept the consequences that comes behind it. Well, so I don't ask for people to look at me through a different lens.
You don't ask for people to look at me through a different lens, yet you want us to believe that you're misunderstood. You want us to believe that you misrepresented yourself all these years. Got it.
I'm just kind of here to be myself and just showcase another perspective.
There we go. That's literally what she just did. There is no other perspective. Brittany Renner belongs to the streets.
So, You do the... Looking back, was there anything that you would do differently?
There we go.
And is there different advice that you would give to a 20-year-old girl that has the same opportunities that you did?
Woo! Wow.
I think the biggest thing that I would want to do differently is...
Avoid the athletes.
Well, I will say, I have to be honest with myself because I think it's easy to take the cliche route and say, like, I would do nothing differently. Now, from the wisdom I have acquired, no, I would not change this wisdom for a clean slate. And
here we go. Here we go.
Stop the cap.
I would not trade this wisdom for a clean slate. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Dude, Brittany Renner would trade in her reputation tomorrow if she could. She'd do it tomorrow if she could. The reason why she is saying that she wouldn't trade the wisdom for a clean slate is because you can't. Just like Karen Steffens, a.k.a. Superhead, she almost, Superhead said almost exactly the same thing. Almost exactly the same thing. I wouldn't try, I don't regret anything for all this wisdom, and I wouldn't be as solid.
that's just the God honest truth. But
oh my God. That's just the God's honest truth. Dude. Every time women use truth words when they try to drive the point home, blah, 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 and that's the God's honest truth.
Stop the cap.
That means it's cap. That means it's cap. Brittany absolutely, positively regrets most of her decisions.
Say to 20-year-olds, and even to my 20-year-old self, I hate how I allowed myself to just be like used up by men.
Here we go.
And
I allowed myself to be used up by men. There we go. There we go. Not taking accountability. Not taking accountability. I allowed myself to be used up by men as if she had no control over her sexual exploits with rappers and athletes. This is almost like when Myron and Fresh ask girls, okay, name one thing you did wrong and name one thing he did wrong. And when they sharp angle her into actually saying something, they say, well, I guess one thing I did wrong is I was too trusting. I was too naive. I was too forgiving. And here Brittany Renner is doing the exact same thing. I would tell my 20-year-old self, I regret allowing men to use me up. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yes, I allowed him to control me, says Ramiro. Exactly. Exactly. You allowed them to use you up, yet you wrote yes, Trutino, yet you wrote a memoir in a book.
Came from a lack of self-worth. I did not understand my value that I was born with. I didn't. And
yes, you did. You did understand the value that you were born with. The value that you were born with was your sexual market value, and you absolutely knew what it was. Otherwise, you would not have, let me pull it up. Otherwise, you would not have gone after guys in the industry, rappers, professional athletes, basketball players, NBA guys, NFL guys. She knew what her value was. You knew what your value was, Brittany. You knew what it was. That's why you consistently went after top 1% men. You knew what it was. The problem is you didn't have any relationship market value. You had sexual market value. That you knew. You didn't have any relationship market value. Devin says what she didn't understand was that her value would go down. That's 100% right. Brittany did not understand that the more these dudes she smashes, the less valuable she becomes.
Again, people look at sex differently, but sex is spiritual unification. At the end, they don't care how you spin it. It's spiritual.
For women.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, for women.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. For women, it's spiritual unification.
Spiritual unification.
And people that I shared my body with.
Oh, Jesus.
When I think about my list, it's repulsive because they didn't deserve it.
Oh my God.
But that was an outcome of me discounting my worth.
Wow.
And it's disgusting.
Wow, dude.
I hate even having that spiritual tie in any type of way. But yeah, I would absolutely change sexually how I move around. And not even necessarily because of like the societal outcome.
So you would change, right? She just contradicted herself. Before, she said she wouldn't change anything for a clean slate for the wisdom that she got, right? She wouldn't change anything for the wisdom that she got, but she just sat here and admitted that, yeah, you know what? By societal standards, yeah, kind of don't like the reputation. You let women talk long enough, eventually they tell on themselves.
It's more so from my self-worth.
What's how it makes you like feel?
Yeah, it doesn't feel good knowing that you gave a sacred part of you to a man that looked at sex with you as taking a piss.
Every man looks at sex with you as taking a piss. Number one. Number two, the more men you share that part of you with. Actually, I'm gonna use her language against her. Hold up, let me just listen to this.
Outcome. It's more so from my self-worth.
What's how it makes you like feel?
Yeah, it doesn't feel good knowing that you gave a sacred part of you to a man that looked at sex with you as taking a piss.
The more men you give that sacred part of you to, the less sacred it becomes. And I think Brittany is now understanding that. I think Brittany now clearly understands that. She didn't then. She most certainly does now. Here's the disconnect. She still thinks her peace sleeve is sacred. No, her peace sleeve is probably the opposite of sacred. Her peace sleeve is probably the equivalent of a petri dish at this point. The only time a vagina is sacred is when there is a hymen in it. After the hymen is pierced, it is no longer sacred.
It's not fulfilling. It's disgusting to think about. And I feel like I've beat myself up every single day for my decisions. And what people say about me online holds no candle to what I've told myself on a daily basis. Like,
stop the cap.
Oh, here we go. This is her trying to quell the hate. You guys can say anything about me all you want to, but man, I'm so much harder on myself. No, you're not. No, you're not.
I've been called worse by better, and that better being me. Like, I have talked down to myself, and I felt like I was unworthy for a very long time. And I would say this is more of a recent awareness, like in the past year, where I'm like, Brittany, you were always enough. Like, you never had to seek validation outside of you. You never had to look that far. And that's what I would tell myself. I would and try to tell women, you should really think about who you're laying down with. Like, and that is a more traditional view, but it's like, sex is not even worth it if they don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you. They have no desire to, they don't want to know your favorite color. They don't give a shit. So why do you want them over top of you?
This is straight wisdom that Brittany is spitting. This is straight wisdom, man. This is straight wisdom. And, you know, Myron and Fresh always point out the fact that the most reasonable people, the most reasonable women on their podcast are always women who are older. And not necessarily in regular years. No, we mean in dick years. In dick years. Selena Powell is, 26, 27 years old? That's an old soul. Selena Powell is probably about 60 years old in dick years. Brittany Renner, about 65 years old in dick years. So yeah, you better believe she understands what's up now.
Again, that's come from feeling used up. And sometimes that's why the used goods comments, they sting. Because you know what?
It's true.
There are times I felt like that.
Yes, it stings because it's true. I love how she tries to disqualify the used damaged goods with the air quotes as if to imply that it doesn't apply. No, Brittany, you are used up, sweetie. Like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. No man of value, no man that you value will ever take you seriously.
I feel like the new toy that now is unexciting and put away in a box. So I just have to accept what I've done and move forward with this awareness and just know that.
Hey, man. Hey, there we go. There we go. She's speaking facts. Who knew?
Okay, the guy that most likely, that I'm not looking for a husband, I'm looking for my husband, and there's a difference. That guy.
That's therapy talk. I'm not looking for a husband, I'm looking for my husband. That's therapist talk.
Is going to be a very small percentage, and I'm okay with that. I'm at peace, and I'm at peace with the things I've done. But I will say, moving forward, like talking to any girl, to you, and, you know, whoever's listening, it's like, you really should think about why you're doing what you're doing.
How about just not be a hoe? And again, girls are on autopilot with the self-destruction, right? But guys, take it from Brittany. Like, dude, she's spitting bars here, y'all. She's spitting bars. This is the one, dude, this is probably the only time. This is the only time a woman of Brittany's stature and ilk will ever say this on camera. She says that she's at peace with her past. Well, she kind of has to be. She kind of has to be. But the wisdom that she is spitting, somebody needs to clip that. Somebody needs to clip that and give it to a young woman you know.
Really think about, why am I attracting that? What part of me is resonating with a guy like that?
Your ass, Brittany. Let's start there.
If you have all these complaints about him, what's resonating with him? Really analyzing what you're doing. That's what I would suggest.
So because in my head, like, why wouldn't you avoid this? If you could go back, you wouldn't avoid the situations.
Oh, boy.
I thought in the beginning you said.
The only thing she wouldn't avoid, the only thing that she does not regret, and I believe this, is having the child with PJ. Women always regret their pasts unless it involves a child. That's it. That's it. She loves her son. And, dude, she's got oh, my God, her son is adorable. Her son is adorable. But that's the only thing she doesn't regret about her past.
That, like, you wouldn't change it because of the wisdom you've acquired.
Good,
But
Pearl.
to me, it's like, oh, my God, if I knew what I know now, like, I probably would have waited till I was married.
No, I get that, and I understand that. I think that I have a very influential voice, and I have grown to be a voice for women who have gone through what I've gone through and experienced what I've experienced. And
experienced what you experienced? What are you, some kind of a hero for sleeping around? Like, what are we doing? Been through what I've been through. Brittany, just about every woman has been through what you've been through. The difference between you and them is that you went through what you went through publicly. She's acting like she's one of one. Like she's this unique anomaly. No, man. Dude, Instagram hoes have been smashing NBA guys for years. Dude, everyday girls walking around here have been through what you've been through. Get out of here.
Although, I can't speak for the majority because my situation still isn't even
here we go.
Average, right?
See? What did I just tell you? No, your situation is not average. But just because your situation is not average doesn't mean it doesn't apply. There's no difference between what Brittany Renner did with all of those dudes and Brittany Smith on Main Street does with everybody else. The adverse side effects are the same. The only real difference is that everybody knows you're a hoe. That's where Brittany Renner fucked up. Is she went public with all this stuff. When you are hoeing around in public, dude, everybody knows. Everybody knows. If a guy meets Brittany Renner, they're going to know who she is and what she's done. Same with porn stars. You got fucked on camera for money, and everybody knows it and has seen it. Whereas if nobody knows who you are, if you're not a porn star, celebrity, Instagram thought like she is, then maybe you can kind of hide that.
And I'm aware of that, but my voice is important, just like your voice is important. And that's why I would not want to change anything because
there we go.
I don't know what this is a very tough spot to be in, right? Because you're figuring it out. You have people who are also trying to figure it out. And it's like, I'm needed in this space.
Oh my God.
Because my voice guides those women that you guys talk about, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why I wouldn't change it. Because
Here we go. So now she's trying to, sorry guys. So now she's trying to paint herself as a martyr. I fell on the sword. I'm going to fall on the sword and say that I am the voice for modern, voice for modern women. I wouldn't change a thing because then I wouldn't be able to impart my wisdom on other women.
Because there's a greater picture. Even in like I told you, my last relationship, had the Bentley, had the house, had the kid. And it wasn't enough, okay? So it may be a small percentage of us women who feel this way, but I feel like that's the voice that I represent.
Oh, no.
You know?
No. There's a large percentage of
women. Okay. Well,
See that? There it is. Do you see that? Pearl just called her out. Boom. There it is. Pearl's like, oh, no. You represent a very large population of women.
I mean, I don't know.
Large. They're predicting that 45% of women will be single and childless by 2030.
Yeah. There it is.
So much so that big banks are investing in like cat food, wine, like things that go with like single women.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, well, big percentage. So I feel like my voice does matter to navigate through this space for them.
Her voice only matters if she talks like she talked the last 5 minutes. Her voice does matter, guys, like it or not. Her voice matters, for better or for worse.
It's like, again, it's such a small percentage of men that you're like looking for now.
I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do you want to navigate that, like moving forward?
Oh, good question.
Do you even want to date like right now? Because so I know some people when their kids are young, like just don't want to date. How do you like feel about that?
Oh boy.
I think it has more.
This is the selfish question. Man, Pearl's an assassin. She is an assassin. She's an assassin. She's asking Brittany, are you going to focus on your kid or focus on your love life?
To do with where I'm at emotionally, and it's not even like a jaded thing, right? It's more of I know my value. Mm-hmm. I can have one conversation with a guy now, and I know exactly what he's about.
Brittany, sweetie. Every woman can do that. This woman is acting like she has more wisdom than the average girl. No, Brittany. Women are born with the inherent ability to read people. She's sitting here acting like she has this ungodly, I can have one conversation and know what he's about. Yeah, every woman can do that, Brittany. Every woman can do that. And you didn't have to fuck a bunch of NBA players to get that wisdom. Number one, that's number one. Number two, Brittany says she knows her value. If you're going after the top 1% of guys and acknowledging that you're only going to settle for a top 1% guy, you clearly don't know your value. She does not know her value. Women who say, I know my value, they're trying to put on a front to the world that they believe that it's not over. Brittany knows it's over, guys. She does. She knows it's over. She knows that no man of status, clout, whatever, is going to take her seriously for a long-term relationship. She knows this. But she can't go around telling people, well, it's over. I'm going to be single I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. She can't go around saying that. So she has to say, I know my value. I know my value. That is the anthem. That is the universal anthem for every hoe out there. Every hoe out there who's hoed around. When a woman no longer has the attention of the men she wants, that's when she discovers her value. It is pathetically predictable. Black Lemur 2009 says she knows what her value was. That's exactly right. She knew what her value was. And it's nowhere near where it is now. Unbelievable. This is incredible. This is incredible.
So most of the guys that have presented themselves in front of me just want to fuck me. I'm not interested in that. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to keep to keep an open mind, and I'm going to keep an open heart. But I know by how a man approaches me, how he speaks to me, mm-hmm. I know that there's that he wants more with me. It is just, I know. So that's where I'm like, I'm not going on dates right mm-hmm. now. I'm not talking. I don't have somebody that we talk every few days, every day. I have no masculine energy besides like my family, our family friend Jerry. I have no masculine energy in my sphere, in my bubble. I don't, because I think I've focused on men and just dick in general mm-hmm. for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And now I'm just going to get to the business. Mm-hmm. I understand that the window, the percentage, it's changed a lot from when I was 22.
Yeah, no shit.
So all I can do is kind of equip myself financially, take advantage of the opportunities I have now to set myself up. Mm-hmm. Because I can't rely on a man and someone coming to save me. I can only save myself now.
There it is. There it is. Wow, good for Brittany. Good for Brittany. There it is. There it is, man. She knows what's up. She knows what's up. She just kept it real. I can't rely on a man to come and rescue me. I got to save myself. She knows what's up, guys. She knows what's up. Secondhand Truth says there's a Russell. Dude, what Sierra did with Russell Wilson, that will never happen again. Ever. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. There is no... Dude... There was only one Russell Wilson, guys. There was only one. And Sierra was lucky enough to snag him.
So that's why dating's not a focal point, but I'm not like turning guys away that actually want to get to know me, like the real me, not just want to fuck me and say all the right things and fuck me, because I can see through that too. Mm-hmm. So I just use discernment now, where I'm like, no guys even really try to talk to me, like, or I should say, no guys that.
I was like, I don't.
No. Of course, guys. No. I'm saying, of course, there's guys in my DM, like random people, but guys that I would be interested in, there's really nobody trying to talk to me like that, and that's okay.
There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. So what Pearl just said was what a lot of people say. Well, there's going to be somebody to save her. Somebody's going to come out of the woodworks and save her. Brittany just said it. Well, I got guys in my DMs. And she says, nobody's really trying to talk to me. Pearl's like, well, wait a minute. I'm sure guys try to holler. And she's like, yeah, but these are just random guys in my DM. Translation, these are average guys. These are not the top 1%ers. But the 1%ers that I want, they're not really talking to me. Like, that is incredible. That is incredibly transparent. That's incredibly transparent and true. At least she acknowledged it.
That's fine.
Would you date a guy that's a normal 9 to... Okay.
Nope.
Would you date a guy makes $40,000 per year?
No.
And he's not hot. He's just like, all right. Average guy.
No, she wouldn't. Just say
average guy?
He has a little beer. He's like skinny, little beer belly.
Oh, God, of course not.
No.
I take care of myself. I'm in the gym 4 to 5 times a week. At whatever his salary is, to me, I feel like I still want to be attracted to the person that I'm with. And $45,000, well, you could be in the gym. A gym membership's $20 a month. Mm-hmm. So if I had a kid a year and a half ago, and I look damn good. So it's like, I would want someone who takes care of their body. Mm-hmm. So the beer belly is kind of where you lost it. Okay, it wasn't even really the money thing. It was like the attractive.
Stop the cap.
Oh, here we go. Now Pearl is going to start to, this is kind of this is one of those would you rather, or how much would it take to. Here we go.
It's like dead in the face, but jacked. $40,000 a year.
No, I will.
It's that $40,000 a year. That's the sticking point. Pearl should go to, okay, what if he was hot? $40,000 a year.
Like what I'm looking at. And then, like, especially too, as they get older, like, I like the salt and pepper. Like, they get sexier. Like, I don't want to date someone that I'm not attracted to.
Would you date someone like 20, 30 years older? 30 years older.
She's 33, 63.
He's salt and pepper and fine?
He's got
Probably. He's okay.
63-year-old men who are salt and pepper and fine, they're not going to marry. They're not going to wife up or date Brittany Renner. They're not going to date a single mother, a 33-year-old single mother.
Because it's just like, even when girls say they're like bringing down their standard, it's like, do we really?
I
Like,
think I'm like,
you know, percent of men most women find unattractive.
what?
Not just okay, unattractive.
Okay, what?
80. You probably find 80% of men unattractive. So even if
yeah.
and that's why I say, like, even if you find a guy attractive, like, you just think he's fine, that means other girls think he's fine. That's top 20% of men.
There it is.
And it kind of just puts us in the same predicament where it's like, through our 20s, like, this is what the guys are complaining about. It's like, okay, through our 20s, we're gonna sleep around with the rappers, the entertainers, and maybe, like, you know, most girls, I would say, I know the manosphere says differently, don't have access to the guys you would access to, right? But it could be like the town rapper, the town, like, whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
And those guys will never commit, and if they do commit, they'll probably cheat. And then we come at 30 and say, take me now, maybe with a kid from someone.
Yeah.
And it's like the guy comes in and feels like he's, like, settled for.
There it is.
Because the guys you really wanted were in your 20s. And it's kind of like what you're saying is kind of reiterating this, because you just said now, like, you don't have the guys you want in your DMs.
There it is. Oh, my God. Wow. Wow. Pearl just brought it around full circle. Holy shit.
DMs anymore.
Correct,
Wow.
but this is how it's meant to be, because a lot of people have villainized me, and I've played into that. Actually, I'm going to say, people have villainized me, and I have villainized myself, because it's like, well, instead of fighting against it and, you know, I don't know, trying to convince people I'm actually a good-hearted person, it's easier to just be the villain.
Oh, no. See, again, this is her once again trying to disclaim and not take accountability for her actions, right? I was labeled a villain because of something somebody else did, so I leaned into it. Stop it.
So I do feel like the villain element is a lot of, I would say more.
And Brittany, you're not a villain. You're not a villain, Brittany. You're a hoe. That's what you are. You're not a villain. There is no villain role. You're a hoe. Plain and simple. You're a single mom who has a blown out pea sleeve. It doesn't really get any simpler than that. She keeps trying to glamorize this villain thing. Nope. Sorry. Not a villain. Just a hoe.
So what guys fear, right? Because they're thinking she's going to hurt me, she's going to write about me, she's going to this.
There it is. See that?
So to be honest, I wasn't meant to be with any of those guys in my 20s. Like, it wasn't a match. Like, there's nobody then that I'm like, I wish they would take me seriously now. No. Like, I like them.
Oh, my God. Did this woman really? Oh, my goodness. This is all cap.
I would say more so what guys fear, right? Because they're thinking she's going to hurt me, she's going to write about me, she's going to this. So to be honest, I wasn't meant to be with any of those guys in my 20s. Like,
she wasn't meant to be with any of those guys in your 20s. Yet, you banged them all.
Wasn't a match. Like, there's nobody then that I'm like, I wish they would take me seriously now. No. Like,
Stop the cap.
I wish they would take me seriously now. Listen to her capping hard about wishing to be taken seriously. Ay.
I like them the same reason they like me. I'm trophy pussy to them, and they're basically trophy dick to me. We both got what we wanted. I mean, essentially, we wanted to have sex. That worked.
Sweetheart, there's no such thing as trophy dick. Oh, boy. Oh, wow. Wow. This is so funny. So she's trying to, this is where she's trying to equate. She's trying to make female promiscuity the same as male promiscuity. There's no such thing as trophy dick, sweetie. There's no such thing as trophy dick. There's only trophy pussy. Trophy pussy, you know us trophy pussy? Derek Jeter. All throughout Derek Jeter's career, he banged nothing but the top shelf hoes. All of them. Actresses, singers, banged them all. That's a trophy case. But when we look at your dating history, we don't say, wow, Brittany Renner did well for her. She banged Trey Songz and Drake. No. There is no trophy dick, sweetie. There is no trophy dick. You don't get trophy dick. It can't be trophy dick if it's easy to get. Ay, ay, ay.
I mean, yeah, you have sex and you maybe want to start being in a relationship, but I didn't fucking know them like that. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of guys I didn't really know on that level to even, it makes sense. So it's not even like you were saying, I'm trying to think of the sentence you said before we started this conversation though, this topic. So it's not even that I'm like, oh, I wish I had those options. It's just more so like, that shit was shallow anyways.
Oh, this is funny. Oh, this is so funny. I don't want those guys anymore. So she's not saying I wish I had those options. That shit was shallow anyway. Wow. So those options that you had are the options that you want now. Brittany is trying to tell us that she doesn't want the same options that she had in her 20s, now in her 30s.
Everything was shallow about it.
Oh, God.
Like, you didn't really want to get to know me for me.
Yeah, but that's like the woman's point of view. You know what I mean?
There
like,
you go.
They didn't want to get, if they wanted to get to know me for me, it'd have been a little different.
Right. No.
Here's the, If they wanted to get to know you for you, you know what would have happened? Yeah, you'd have gotten in a relationship with him, and then brand swung from athlete to athlete to rapper to rapper. She's trying to tell us that if she knew then what she knew now, she wouldn't have been a hoe in her 20s. No, she would absolutely have been a hoe. Like, miss me with that.
No, but I'm saying, like, from the men's point of view, it's going to be, and this is just, again, what the guys are saying.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, you made all those, like, you let all those guys hit for free, and now I got to do all this.
Woo!
Well, it's not even, I don't even look at.
Wow, dude, Pearl is, that body work she put in the first few rounds, now she's starting to go upstairs. Brittany caught a few of those body shots. Now her hands are dropping a little bit because she's trying to protect those ribs, trying to protect that kidney, trying to protect them from those body shots, right? Now Pearl's like, okay, the body work is complete. Now I'm going to go upstairs. Now I'm going to start landing shots because the hands are a little bit lower in case she wants to throw a body blow. Wow.
At it as, well, you did it for free because I'm not a prostitute. Like, and I'm not a glorified escort.
Right,
either.
and that might not be how you look at it,
okay.
but
that's crazy to me.
No, it's crazy to you, Brittany, but that's what it is. And when Pearl says you let the guys hit for free, what she means is you let the guys fuck you with little investment. That's what she means. You let these guys, and again, it is incredible that when women's value is the highest, they give the pussy up for the least. When a woman's value is the highest, she gives up the butt for the least. She doesn't require nearly as much. Only when a woman has been ran through and her worth is in the gutter, now she demands men to get to know me, to get to know who I am. Do you guys see this happen? This is happening in real time. Brittany Renner is literally verifying everything we talk about here in the Sphere. When she was in her 20s, she let guys fuck her just because. She had all the value in the world. When her value was the highest, she sacrificed it she got the least in return. Let me say that again. When her value was the highest, she got the least in return. Now that her value is at its lowest point, now she requires more upfront. Wow. Darius Horton, $5 super chat, says she wouldn't go back to them because she knows she can't go hoe around and gain more clout. Well, possibly. But she would get back with any of these guys tomorrow if she could. If Jamal Murray called her up tomorrow, she would get with him. 100%. If Chris Brown, Lil Uzi Vert, Drake, if any of these dudes were to say, hey, look, I want to get to know you better, I want to be in a relationship, dude, Brittany Renner would be on the plane tonight. She'd be on the plane tonight. But now she's sitting here trying to convince us that she no longer wants the option she once had because that shit was shallow. Fuck out of here.
This is just this is how men see it. It's like, okay, blessing. Producer. You took your girl on dates, right? Yeah. How would you feel?
This is
How would
good.
you feel if you took her on, let's say, 5 dates before you hit? I don't know what y'all did. I'm not. And then you found out that your Bob down the street hit without
Had a
taking her
one-night
on
stand.
shit.
There it is. That's the payment we're talking about. See, this shows the disconnect. This shows the disconnect between reality and what Brittany Renner thinks. She's about to get an education here. Brittany's about to get educated here because Pearl just perfectly illustrated what she meant by pay. She didn't mean prostitution or whoring, Brittany. She's talking about investment. That's the perfect question. How would you feel if you took your girlfriend out for 5 dates, you didn't fuck her, but then you found out that Bob down the street had a one-night stand with her and didn't have to take her anywhere? Brittany does, dude, I don't think she understood this concept until just now.
Like it hurts. It's like it hurts a man's ego.
No, that's fine.
And it hurts. It's not insecurity either. It's just like
there you go.
That's
no,
how
I
guys
mean,
see
but
it.
that's where I have to come in and say, okay, like
Yeah.
I'm not saying your ego shouldn't be hurt. I'm saying you're not somebody that.
It's not about ego, sweetie. It's not about ego. It's about putting ourselves in the best situation to have the best relationship we can. That's what it is.
Is even like we're not on each other's radar. So the man that I want can't care about who the fuck I went on, who I did what with.
Oh, but he is, Brittany. She says the man that I want can't care about. Oh, but they do, Brittany. And that's why nobody's in your DMs. At least nobody that you want.
And that's a small percentage. So that's why it's like him saying that, he's allowed to feel that way. I mean,
Oh, this is funny. She thinks he's the exception to the rule. Oh, how about that? Oh, my goodness. Dude, it's so funny. Brittany Renner's a celebrity, yet she's talking like the average modern woman. Well, that's your experience. You're allowed to feel that way. Brittany, every man feels this way. Every man feels this way. No man wants to be in a relationship with a woman who's been ran through publicly.
that's fine. Like, you're not on my
But
radar, I'm not on yours.
I think the point is
There it is. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's cute. You hear what she just said? You're not my radar and I'm not on yours. In other words, you don't qualify to be with me, so what you think doesn't matter. All right. Bet. Cool. See that? See? Cocky to the core, man. Cocky to the core. Unbelievable.
all men think like this.
I'm not going to generalize all. I just can't. Like, we can say majority, but I'm not going to generalize and say all. Because
She can't generalize and say all, because if she does, then at that point it's over. She knows she doesn't have a chance.
it's like, what my biggest issue is like, once you hit a certain age, you're no good. Okay, so women, we hit 30 and we're basically useless to society.
Who the hell said that? Who said that?
Okay, to most men, that's how they're going to feel. That our life still has to go on.
I would
No.
say not most men don't feel that way. It's it's the men that we want that feel that way because
There you
those
go.
men have options.
Woo!
80% of men women find unattractive. Those men will date 30-year-olds. They'll date single mothers. They'll do all of it. It's the 20% of men that we want when they say, okay, single mom or no single mom. I'm going to pick no single mom because it's just less headache.
Yeah.
If I could pick a 22-year-old or a 32-year-old, I'm going to pick a 22-year-old. It's
That's
not
fine.
it's not to say nobody gets through, but just like on a balance of probabilities.
No, that's fine. I just think
I think the men sometimes get frustrated with us because they feel like we've been sold this fairy tale
Woo!
that's just not real, and these men are not real. Like to them, and that's where they come in and say like women are delusional for like wanting these things.
Pearl is a superstar. She's a superstar. Y'all, she's a superstar. Think she's not knowledgeable enough now? Huh? Think she's not qualified to do this kind of content? You think she needs to study more? Pearl is on her game, guys. She is absolutely on her game. I can guarantee you that no one, man or woman, has ever spoken to Brittany like this. And I'll tell you something. Kevin went easy on Brittany. He went easy. We all saw the Brittany Renner interview that Kevin did with her. He went easy on her. He pulled her punches. He pulled his punches. Same thing with Nicki Minaj. He had Nicki Minaj on an Instagram call. He pulled his punches. Not Pearl. Nope. Pearl told her straight up, this is not what most men think. It's the men that we want. She just gave a timeline in detail about how men think. And she was 1,000% spot on. Nobody can disagree with what she just said to Brittany just then. But we want her out of the manosphere. She's a grifter. She's a hack. Maybe she is a hack, but she's a damn knowledgeable one. That's for sure. Wow.
I mean, and from their perspective, that's valid. That I don't have to, like, if that's however, whatever percentage.
Do you hear this? What's happening in Brittany's mind? What just happened in Brittany's mind? I'm telling you, this is the first time Brittany has ever heard this from anybody. This is the first time that it's ever been laid out to her like this. This is another woman talking to her like this. And I promise you, no woman in Brittany's life has ever talked to her like this. But what Pearl just said was 1,000% truth. And Brittany knows it. So what's going on in her mind is, holy shit. What she just said made perfect sense. So I need to come up with something to come up with something to help me sleep at night. That's why that's why she's stuttering. Watch. She can barely even think. In real time, watch.
These things.
Watch.
I mean, and from their perspective, that's valid. That I don't have to, if that's however, whatever percentage men you want to say that's how they feel. You're saying all. I'm saying I'm not gonna categorize and say all. I don't think all of anything.
I'll give you 5%.
Okay, 5%. Okay, well then I'm only concerned about the 5. Like I have no like right. I'm not Jehovah's Witness. I'm not here to convert. You guys shouldn't think this way about me. You should see me as this. See my value. I don't.
No. Do you see? Now she's trying to filibuster. The reason she's filibustering and talking over Pearl is because she knows Pearl is onto something. Like I said before, Brittany can't acknowledge in her mind that it's over. She can't do it. She's got to sleep at night. She has to sleep at night. Brittany has to remain willfully ignorant so she can sleep at night. No woman is ever completely and totally hopeless. Brittany does not want to see the truth. She doesn't. And this is the first person who has ever talked to her like this, and Brittany's not trying to hear it.
No, and I'm not saying, like, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, it just is what it is.
You're where you're at. You can't undo the men you slept with.
Yeah, and I don't want to. It just is what it is.
There we go. I don't want to. Double down.
You have a child, so you can't undo any of that. There's no point in harping about it. And I think that's the point you generally try to make.
Yeah, is that I accept the repercussions of my decisions.
See how she brought her back?
Good, bad, and different.
But my only point is I'm just trying to, like, let you know this is how the men see it, and this is what they're talking about in the red pill.
I get it.
Okay, what were your biggest disagreements with me before you met me?
Oh, boy.
Biggest disagreements,
or anything on the show that you've disagreed with that I said.
I think there were maybe 3 things.
Okay.
The first, I had only watched one video on your Instagram because I didn't want to do too deep of a dive just yet, right? And it was the women aren't entitled to safety, and I think it's triggering because like. You think of like, well, why do I have to fear going down a dark alley, right? But then when you actually think about it, none of us are entitled to safety.
That's
so
right.
That statement is actually true. So that was one thing. So I kind of went through my own thought process. We move forward. I don't even know.
So many people triggered over that one.
Yeah, because it's like you do want to be like, well, why can't I go down an alley at 1 a.m? Well, you can, but whatever. But I think the other thing we had on the show, again, I don't disagree with. Okay, maybe the fat comments aren't that nice.
I can't say it.
I would say that I
get large majestic
creatures. I don't
the whales.
think they're nice. I get
they started though.
Okay, but I mean, so I get you trying to defend yourself, and like when somebody says something mean to you, or again, if someone's not nice to you, you're gonna be not nice back. So.
Right.
Even from your perspective, I still get it. It's like you attack me, well, you're gonna hit me, I'm going below the belt. You're going low, I'm going to hell. You know what I mean? So
Jesus.
I also even though I don't agree, I understand. Because if you're gonna talk about me, I'm gonna talk about you too, right? And I think the only thing during our talk with Andrew that I think I got maybe a little hyper was when we were talking about the child support stuff. And that's just because...
So it looks like Pearl did an interview with both Brittany Renner, Andrew Tate, and both of them. Dude, fucking, oh my God. Dude. Holy smokes. Good for Pearl.
Because that is a close to home topic, and it is a very, it is a topic that is, to me, is talked about a lot, and people who don't have a fucking kid, who aren't going through this process, the lawyers, the custody, child support, all that stuff, you don't have a fucking clue, you know? So every state has different laws. So I think that was the only thing where I felt kind of hyper, but we talked about that, like on the show, we kind of got into that stuff and why I felt the way I felt. So I don't know, I like you. I'm going to be honest, like, I definitely want to shoot more stuff together, and
the pair of nobody saw coming.
Yeah, like, I think you're cool as fuck. So I don't know, like, I think that I watched a lot of videos about you on TikTok.
Listen to this. Listen to this. Brittany Renner, the world's most famous side piece, just told Pearl that she wants to shoot more content together. How does that not help the manosphere, guys? How does that not bring more eyeballs to the red pill community? How does that make Pearl bad for the manosphere? Like, this is, again, this is one of these, and you want to know something? Hang on a second. This is one of this, oh my God, dude. I'm gonna tell you what, man. Dude. I just shot Pearl a text with an idea based on what I just saw. And dude, Pearl is far more creative with this stuff than I am. She is far more creative with this stuff than I am. But this would make her, dude, this would make her a superstar. This would make her a superstar. This would make her an absolute superstar. Unbelievable. She's got Brittany Renner wanting to shoot more content. And you want to know why? It actually makes sense. It actually makes sense. It actually makes sense for her to do this. And the reason why it makes sense is because the red pill community, this is the community that is the hardest on Brittany. It's the community that is the hardest on Brittany. Brittany has almost no, there's no way she is going to ever fully rehabilitate her image. She's not going to. She'll never fully rehabilitate her image. However, if she wants to make at least a dent in it, a regular collaboration with Pearl would probably do the trick. No, this doesn't mean that the top 1%ers are going to want to wife her up. But wouldn't it be something to see Brittany Renner red-pilled right before our very eyes? Dude, you talk about content gold. This is content gold, guys. This is incredible. It makes sense for the both of them. Just like she said, the pair that no one saw coming. Who better to be your co-host on a regular basis than someone who is quite literally the opposite of who you are, who's a goddamn celebrity. Good for Pearl, man. Good for Pearl. Like I said, man, there are a lot of red pill content creators who hate on Pearl and call her all kinds of names and this and that and the other. You know who you are. You guys aren't fooling me. You guys aren't fooling me. This is professional jealousy. This is professional jealousy.
People were very, like, ugly to you. And I don't think they really see your personality. And they don't understand that there is a voice. Every voice is very important. right? Everybody.
No, not every voice is very important.
Everybody's voice. It doesn't matter what shitty you think their content is. You think they're this. Their perspective is valid, and they are representing a group of people. So you can't, if you care about feelings and you care about truth, then you wouldn't try to downplay other people's perception. Like
Red Genome, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. $2 super chat says Brittany can't punch her way out of this corner. No, she can't.
It's valid, and there's a lot of things too that we talk about, that you talk about with the marriage and the contracts and disadvantages and biological things. Those are things that just cannot be argued. Like.
Wow. Listen to this. Listen to what's happening. Listen to what's happening. Brittany Renner is sitting here acknowledging red pill truth. She says these are things that cannot be argued. Could you ever think that Brittany Renner, the world's side chick, would sit here and say at this point that there are certain elements about red pill content that cannot be argued? Pearl is doing that right now. She's doing that right now. Pearl is unique, dude. She is uniquely positioned to get more eyeballs on the manosphere. Hate on her all you want. Pearl is good for all of us. She's good for all of us, man. Jesus Christ.
From a biological standpoint, a lot of stuff makes sense. So I like what you're doing personally, and I like you as a person. And I think if more people actually sat down and talked to you, they would like you too. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, tell that to the beautiful, majestic creature.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it anymore. It's the sea creatures.
He said the beautiful, majestic sea creatures. Ninja Snuggle with the $10 super chat. Appreciate that.
Okay, guys, if you have a question to submit to Brittany, go on my story. I'm going to pick a couple right now. It's on Instagram. Just Pearly Things 1. They took away my actual ones. I'm going to go. Okay. Oh, this is
Am
a
I
good
looking
one.
oily? Am I good?
Do you think body count matters?
Ooh.
For men or women?
For women.
Well, if we're talking about this space that we're in, it does matter.
Oh, there it is. There it is. See, she went right back to it. Well, if we're talking about the space we're in, it does matter. No, doesn't matter, period. See, Brittany is trying to... Terrell Xavier says Myron and Jellen are not jealous. Fresh and Fit did the same interview and she agreed with them. Terrell, my friend, I didn't say that Myron and Rollo were jealous. I did not say that Myron and Rollo were jealous. I'll tell you what, man, I appreciate your support, but you are coming dangerously close to getting banned. You are coming dangerously close to getting banned. Myron and Rollo are both very good friends of mine, and I have not said either of them were jealous. You see, that's the kind of thing. That right there, that's the kind of thing that causes rifts and divisions. Never once, for the record, never once did I say Myron and Rollo are jealous. Myron's a fucking millionaire. Rollo is the godfather. What the fuck do they have to be jealous about? Like, you know what? Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out of here. Fuck off, dude. Get the fuck out of here. I said no such thing. And you're going to sit here and say that Myron and... No. Fuck that and fuck you. Fuck off. Man. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. You caught yourself feeling some type of way because I think that Tori is a dumb groupie and you want to come at me like that over a bitch? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Myron and Rollo are not jealous. What the fuck? Unreal. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This dude, oh my God. What the fuck do they have to be jealous about? Oh my fucking God. Jesus fucking Christ. This guy thinks that Tori is some mental Svengali because she rode Rollo's coattails and managed to land an interview with Michael Certain. No, fuck Tori and fuck you, man. Tori is a groupie, nothing more. She offers nothing to anybody. And yes, Rollo knows exactly how I feel about her. Dude, unbelievable. You gotta be kidding me with this. This dude had the gall to say Myron and Rollo are not jealous. These fucking people, man. These fucking people, dude. This dude went back and forth with me for 15 fucking minutes about a groupie. You went back and forth with me trying to explain to me the scholastic qualifications of a groupie. Seriously. Fucking hell, man. Dude, I'm gonna tell you what, man. Guys like that, that's the problem in this community. Next thing you know, he's like, oh, well, Rollo, he's in Rollo's chat. Donovan said you were jealous of Pearl. He's in my... Thank God, Myron and Rollo are red pill aware. Fucking hell, dude. Come on. Myron and Rollo are not the only red pill content creators, fam. There are a shitload of red pill content creators who are jealous of Pearl. They would not say as much because they don't want to admit that, but that's what it is. This is the red pill content creator with 5,000 subscribers who makes shit content and wonders why he got passed up by Pearl. Those are the guys I'm talking about. Fuck, dude. No, he wouldn't leave it the fuck alone. Tori speaks on a level that Pearl will never reach. Really? Pearl just texted me that she's doing the wife school thing with Brittany Renner and possibly Andrew Tate. Oh, yeah, but Tori's on another level, right? Got it. Yeah. Totally. And then he wanted to lie and say, I don't think Tori's attractive. Oh, get the fuck out of here. If you don't think Tori's attractive, what the fuck are you watching her for? It's damn sure not for her content. It's damn sure not to listen to her talk. Like, seriously. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. This dude is feeling some type of way that I went after his one-itis. And so, every once in a while, a jab. Then this motherfucker's going to come out and say, Myron and Rollo aren't jealous. I never, ever said that. Get the fuck out of here with that. Cigarman85 says Tori is a yacht hopper. Facts. You don't think Tori has rich guys who fly her to places? Man. Fuck out of here, dude. Fuck out of here. This dude came in. Dude, you came in here and caped up for a red pill groupie. You came in here and caped up for a red pill groupie and got so in your fucking feelings, you came in here and tried to sabotage my shit. Myron and Rollo are not jealous. Unbelievable. I swear to God, man. This is why the red pill community exists. This is why it exists. This is why it exists. Tori is, dude, Tori is boring. And all she does is parrot Rolo's talking points. All she does. But we got guys in here actually, pardon me, we got guys in here actually insinuating that she's some sort of psychological savant and that she's read many books. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. There's a reason why Tori's got her tits out all the time on live streams. Because she knows that's the reason why people watch. People don't tune in. People don't tune in to watch Tori's mind at work. No! They tune in to see her tits. That's why they tune in. She does such a good job at parroting Rolo's talking points, she actually has some of you idiots thinking she actually knows this stuff. Get the fuck out of here. Tori's on a level that Pearl will never approach. Really? How many subs does her channel have? Then you want to come in here and indirectly insinuate that I'm talking about Myron and Rolo. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. Guys, listen. Female beauty stupefies the male mind. I'm trying to tell you. Female beauty stupefies the male mind, guys. You guys just saw the perfect example. You saw the perfect example right there. This guy is going back and forth with me about a woman he knows positively nothing about other than the fact that he wants to fuck her. But then he wants to tell me he's not attracted to her to try to cover up the fact that that's why he watches her. Well, I'm not attracted to her. I watch her because she's talking about evolutionary biology. Fuck out of here. It's okay to admit that women are attractive. Tori is attractive. I don't like her, but she is attractive. Guste Janice, she is a walking false EPAR accusation, radioactive to all men. She is attractive. I had some knucklehead put in my comments the other day about Tom Brady's new girlfriend. Not enough curves, I wouldn't smash. I went in on the girl you have secret fantasies about, and now you want to go back and forth with me. I stopped giving you oxygen. You super chat something in saying Myron and Rolo are not jealous. Get the fuck out of here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Glenn Lawrence, welcome to Chat Privileges. At Glenn Lawrence to welcome him to the TSR family. Glenn, if you would, put your age and location in the chat. A scout in a Bradley with a $10 super chat says, who's Tori? Am I missing something? Look her up. Torsha, Torshaa. Tori is... she's a homeless version of Pearl, is what she is. That's who she is. She's not a poor man's Pearl. She's a homeless version of Pearl. That's who she is. She's a dude. She's a Rolo Tomasi groupie who follows him around. She's riding his coattails to get access to men in this community. That's what she does. I made the egregious mistake of having her on my platform a couple of times. Halfway through the second live stream, it became clear to me that she was a groupie. She's really just in this to just kind of show herself. We got a lot of women. We have a lot of women who try to infiltrate this community at every turn. All the time. Tori just happens to be attractive enough. She just happens to be attractive enough to be taken seriously. And because she was indirectly given the seal of approval by Rollo Tomasi, I thought, okay, maybe I can do some content with this girl. No, can't do it anymore. Sorry. Can't do it anymore. So go and check out Torsha, whatever. But the long and the short of it is Tori is Rollo's groupie. Nothing more. It is what it is.
Like they're literally using body count as a way to, it's a scale. Of course, I'm going to say no because I don't want to be judged for my body count. I wouldn't judge a man for his body count. But
of course you wouldn't judge a man for his body count. Of course you wouldn't judge a man for his body count. For his body count, well, because men with high body counts are more attractive. Ojos Delgado says, why you simping so much for Pearl? You said Rollo specifically. You said Myron specifically. You didn't mention anyone else's name. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, boy. All right, give me a second here. Hang on a second. Yes, I mentioned Rollo's name. I mentioned Myron's name specifically because Myron does not like Pearl. And the reason he does not, and Myron has his reasons for not liking Pearl, and I agree with those reasons. That does not change my relationship with either one of them. I've mentioned Rollo's name because he's, well, the Godfather. I also mentioned Rollo's name because he is associated with Tori. A lot of people think that that Pearl should be out of the manosphere. And I don't think Pearl should be out of the manosphere, but she's not going anywhere. I mentioned Tori's name because she is associated with Rollo, and that's why I mentioned his name. Unbelievable. Yeah, you know what? Check this out. Go back and tell Rollo and Myron that I said that they were jealous of Pearl. Yeah, go ahead and do that. They'll totally believe you. Fucking asshole. That guy's probably you-know-who. Glenn Lawrence says, Donovan, Phil Foster and I will do a live stream about the clowns in the space tonight. We got you. Oh, I am 38, work in Hollywood, and live in Los Angeles. Wow. Okay. Very good.
We're in a world where women are judged. So to a lot of...
Yeah, Devin says some people are capable of connecting the dots. It's not that they're not capable of connecting the dots. They're looking for things to drive a rift between people. That's all that is. And by the way, yes, exactly, dude. Pearl took down the video and she regrets it. Ay. Age of Machines says something extra since I had a great year. Oh, with the $20 super chat, said, funny thing is, some of us spent money on therapists and drugs that did us little good or acknowledge what men face with women. I pick no sides. Your breakdowns do a ton of good for us. Yeah, they do a ton of good until I get sidetracked by bullshit. I guess I'm kind of self-destructive like that. Geeky Anomaly with the comment of the night says Pearl has earned her stripes. Tori just showed up. Bingo. Tori, she just showed up. And yeah, I'm giving her oxygen, but dude, she is so terrible at content creation, not even I can bump up. And I'm a nobody. Like, she's useless. Dude, she's useless. She's catty. She acts like Mean Girls. She's picking fights behind the scenes with Allie and Pearl, taking shots at Allie and Pearl on Twitter and all that. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, that's what she does. Like, dude, behind the scenes, she's picking and talking to this person and this person, and no. That's one of many reasons why I don't deal with Tori anymore. She's like a teenager in high school, guys. She's like a teenager in fucking high school. That's why I don't associate with her anymore. Sorry. No, sir. Nope. That's why I don't associate with her. She talks too much. She's manipulative. She's a typical modern woman. Tori is not on our side, guys. She's not. She didn't give a fuck about any of us. She does not give a fuck about any of us. All she cares about is attention. That's it. Yeah, but Pearl cares about attention too. Yes, she does. The difference is she actually gives us value in exchange for our attention. That's the difference. Yes, Pearl is a woman. Yes, all women are like that, including Tori and Pearl. The difference is Pearl actually gives us value. Tori gives us her fake tits for 2 hours a day or however long she streams. Anyone who takes Tori seriously, dude, and again, I fall into that camp. I took her seriously for about a half an hour, and then I said, oh, okay, so she's one of those. Got it. A Scout in Bradley, $5 super chat says, Pearl is the only red pill I watch. Cool. I would also check out Fresh and Fit. A Scout in Bradley, you got to check out Fresh and Fit, Rolla Tomasi, or The Rational Male, and MLD. MLD is, I think for my money, MLD is the most underrated creator in this space. He's the most underrated creator in this space. Wendy Jesus says, thank you for bringing Pearl into the light, Donovan. Her channel is educational and entertaining. Out of all of the women you collaborated with, Pearl is at the top. I love Pearl. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. I recognized, I recognized the talent, man. I recognize the talent. And that's really all there is to it. She was very, very close to giving up. I told her to stick with it for another month, and she did. She did. So, all right, let's continue.
Men, it does matter. There are some men, we don't know the percentage, whatever. There are some men who don't give a fuck. So, yeah, I think.
Yeah, there are some men who don't give a fuck. The men who don't give a fuck. The men who don't give a fuck about about a woman's body count are men who don't have options.
Oh.
Would you agree that like better marriages like tend to be formed when they're both virgins, or when the woman's a virgin at least?
I would say from my theory about that is, if you don't know about anything else, there's a greater chance you're gonna stay. So what I've come to realize with having different types of sex.
Oh my God.
When you have a big one, you know when it's a small one, right? And these things, this experience, it shapes how you view what the ideal partner or guy or sex is like. Boy. And so if I take the concept of we're both virgins, we both don't know about, you can get choked, get spitting in mouths and anal and all this crazy stuff. Sorry, but I'm just saying.
Wait, y'all spit in each other's mouths? Oh my
God.
You never have?
Oh,
no?
God,
I've done a lot of shit though.
Ew, no thanks, ew. Sorry, that just...
Okay. I thought Brittany was just fucking around the first time she said spit in your mouth. But she really, do people act like, ugh, that is gross. I love Devin to death, but I don't want her spitting in my mouth. That's nasty. Do people really spit? Yeah. Do people really spit in each other's mouths during sex? Wow. Damn, Brittany's done some freaky shit.
I feel like, you only know of each other, so there's a greater chance. Like, your mind doesn't necessarily... I'm not going to say it doesn't wander, but I would say that the probability is a lot lower, because you don't...
There you go. See, Brittany knows.
Know anything. That's it.
Oh, because you don't know anything. No, it's not because you don't know anything. It's because you're pair bonded to that person. She's trying to make female virginity for a marriage sound almost like it's a bad thing. Well, the only reason why you wouldn't cheat is because you don't know any better. You don't know, you when you've had a number of big dicks, then you know, that's this is why we tell women not to sleep around. Because when you sleep around, you have too much knowledge, and now you become more selective about the men you want to continue to have sex with. And now you're looking for men who rock your world in the bed, 6-foot dicks, six-pack abs, 6'4" and a millionaire. Those men don't exist. Those men don't exist. Ay, ay, ay.
You know? You don't know what a Lysol can's like because you ain't never been with one.
Unbelievable. There
Your
it is.
husband's a 5-incher, he's a 6-incher.
Jesus Christ. See this?
Okay.
And look at Pearl Pearl is trying to act brand new here. Pearl's she's trying to act brand new here. Pearl, she didn't have to tell. Now we all know that Pearl's not a hoe, right? But interesting when Brittany said, Lysol can, and Pearl's like, yeah, okay, all right. I guess I understand. Glenn Lawrence, $10 super chat says, the thing that frustrates me in this space is creators never seem to be on the same page. I agree with you on body count, but Mr. Lucario said today only betas worry about body count. Mr. Lucario, very good friend of mine. I've collabed with him many, many times. He has spoken at both of my events. I respectfully disagree. A man worried about a woman's body count, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't make him beta. No, that makes him wise. That makes him smart. It is what it is. I think what Mr. Lucario was trying to say is that, look, man, most girls have high body counts. Deal with it. And then we advise women, lie about your body count, number one. Number two, you have to act the part. So, okay.
Do you think?
Yeah, Trucino says Pearl looks. Yeah, Pearl. That's what I was trying to say. Pearl looked very uncomfortable with that conversation. That was funny.
You've peaked, and if so, what age?
Peaked in what? Like
Physically,
look-wise?
yeah,
Sexual
look-wise.
attractiveness.
Do you think you've peaked physically, and if so, what age?
Of course she has. 22.
Like when I was in my best shape. I mean, obviously I've had a baby now, so my body's changed. I will say that the base is still pretty much the same. I feel like my favorite body, if I'm looking back at old pictures, probably 2019. It's probably like
2019. So what is she now? 33. 2019. That's now going to be 4 years ago. So what, your best body was when you were 29? Get out of here.
All the pictures I took then, I'm like, damn.
How old were you?
2019. I'm not good at math. What?
29.
Sorry, I can't even.
So like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
2019. This is almost 2023. This is 4 years ago. Come on, ladies.
I feel like that
3 years ago.
3 years ago. I'm sorry. Like I said, yeah. I feel like
Pearl. What do we, dude? Pearl just made me look bad. Pearl, you're killing me. You're killing me. I'm sitting here defending you against all these knuckleheads out here, and you don't even. Come on, Pearl. We got to brush up on the math.
Body-wise, 2019. Yeah, I feel like that was my favorite body. Because again, I feel like I've always had a really
My favorite body.
I've just always had a really nice body, and I was always in the gym as well. But I think I was a lot skinnier in the 2015, 2016. Mm-hmm. So 2019 was probably like my favorite, and then got pregnant.
When do you think most women peak?
24. Here we go.
Also,
probably like mid-20s, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I'm going off of when I look at the girls I went to high school with on my Facebook.
There you go.
I'm like, she used to be that girl, and she's not that girl.
Not
trying to be mean. It's just like
it's the truth.
They just look a lot.
It's honest,
and it's like you can't control a lot of it. It's genetic. So unless you have the money to get like work done,
yes, no, you can control it. And yeah, genetics do have something to do with it, but what Brittany just told us, she was always in the gym. That's why Brittany's always looked good, is because she's always in the gym. But now, girls she used to go to high school with don't look the same. They look like bovine sea creatures. Look like bovine sea creatures. Has nothing to do with genetics. You can control it. It's called working out.
And you're going to age. It's a natural thing. So I don't even say that to be nasty. I just feel like probably like mid-20s, like 20.
That's so funny. Brittany is still trying to. Dude, women lie to each other all the time, man. Women just cannot be honest with each other.
25, 26 maybe?
25.
Usually,
26.
yeah. That would be my guess.
I actually think most girls peak at like 19. I think most of the people.
19?
Yeah, I really do.
They're like still babies, I feel like. You're still
They're not babies. 19 years old, you're a grown-ass woman. You're not a baby.
growing into your body and stuff.
Most girls I know in the U.S. got fat.
Uh-huh.
Like, most girls were in better shape when they were 19, and I think that's like half of it.
There it is.
Maybe some got a little better style by like 21, 22, but I feel like I noticed, I think 19.
Okay.
For most girls.
Okay.
It's funny, if Pearl were a guy and she said, dude, this is why Pearl has the following she does. There are things that she can say that we can't. There are things that she can say that we can't. If Andrew Tate were to ever say, a girl peaks at 19 years old, the masculinity, a bad Andrew Tate impression, but if Andrew Tate were to say, girls peak at 19, the world would lose its the internet would lose its collective mind. Oh my God, Andrew Tate said girls peak at 19. But because another woman said it, it's more acceptable. This is why Pearl is important, guys. Because she can do and say the things, for the most part, that we can't. And the people that the people that I'm really talking about, two of the people I'm talking about are Abba and Preach. I didn't want to give them any oxygen, but that's who the fuck I was talking about. Them and a lot of other smaller red pill content creators who are feeling some type of way that Pearl has passed them by. Myron and fucking Rolo, what a fucking idiot. Ay. But yes, this is why Pearl has, this is why she has a following. This is why her channel has grown exponentially, because she can say things that we can't say. She can't say. Roderick Thomas says, you got a Bugatti. I got for 5M.
Blessing, my thing isn't loading because of the service. Can you connect me to the Wi-Fi for a second?
This is bad production.
Thank
What
you.
are we doing? What are we doing? Come on. What are we doing?
It's been fun. I'm so glad we got to talk.
Blessing is top producer.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's a good stopping point. Alvin Sam said, it's Hobo and Screech. It's Hobo and Screech. Geeky Anomaly says, I lost my shit when he told Meghan Markle to cook him chicken to prove that she's black. Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Johnny Green wants to know what color is your Bugatti. I don't have one. I don't have a Bugatti. I'd like to wake up in one. Shout out Ace Hood. Yeah, Glenn Lawrence, just going back to what Glenn Lawrence said in his super chat. I understand how it can be frustrating that we're seemingly never on the same page. But what you're gonna have to understand, Glenn, is that even though most of us agree on most fundamental things, there are some surface level talking points that we don't agree on. Mr. Lucario thinks that worrying about a woman's body count is a beta. I disagree with him. You know, we don't. I think what we have to be careful of is we're not always going to be in lockstep agreement with every single thing we say. And Lucario kind of marches to the beat of a different drummer in this community, to be honest with you. And he's hyper intelligent, man. Like, he sees things. I don't know. Lucario is different in that I think he sees things a little differently than most red pill content creators. And I think guys like him are needed. Apple and Screech. Jay Belay says Brittany just wants attention. Yeah, she does. Anonymous and discreet, arrogance and cringe. Oh, wow. Hobo and Screech. That's funny. Yeah, Jay Belay says people here. Yeah, we like the red pill community. We agree on 95 to 97% of things, but the 2 to 3% that we disagree on, it's not going to move the needle one way or the other. So Like, I understand that you could be frustrated, but just understand that there are certain surface level talking points that we're not going to agree on. I know it can be frustrating, but just try to wade yourself through that, and try to hear people out. Try to hear people out. The 12 Days of Christmas sale is still on at tsracademy.com. Everything has been slashed. I'm having a fire sale. Everything must go. That kind of thing. If you want to, guys, if you want to be notified when I go live, download the Sharpe Stream app, guys. It's absolutely free. It's absolutely free. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone who pees standing up. I would greatly appreciate it. The Eagles are still. We are still unsure of whether or not Jalen Hurts is going to play on Saturday. As a fan, I want him. If he's 100%, I mean, I don't know. As a fan, I would want him to sit. I want him to sit just to make sure he's healthy, because we need him for the playoffs. Because Dallas stubbed their toe against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, this Saturday's game is virtually meaningless. The Eagles, dude, we just have to win one of our last 3 games, and the number 1 seed is all wrapped up. Which means that, and I understand Jalen Hurts. He's competitive and he wants to play through the pain. Like, this is why the teammates love him. It's kind of a fluid situation. Pardon me. So we'll keep an eye on. Roderick Thomas says, thanks, Donovan, for your commentary. I was able to finish the live. Yes, very good. Yeah, I didn't make it all the way through. But the question, I think the questions from Instagram, I think that's probably pretty entertaining. But I really wanted just to react to the conversation between the two of them on what they agreed and or disagreed with. So shout out to Pearl, man. Shout out to Pearl, dude. Dude, it's incredible, man. I remember when she first started. Dude, I used to be on the phone with Pearl every day because she would ask me about how to hook things up and how to stream and this and that. And it's really, really cool. It's really, really cool to see her growth, man. It really, really is. I don't know, man. I love seeing people succeed, dude. Like when Kevin blew up, that was fucking awesome. When Fresh and Fit blew up, that was a lot of fun to watch. And now the way Pearl has, the way she's blown up and what she's doing, it's very cool to have been a rung on the ladder of some of these people's success. I'm not the reason that Pearl is successful. She is. She's done all the work. If I say this, dude, I say this about Myron and Fresh all the time. If I didn't have them on my, if I didn't discover them, eventually somebody else would have, right? Like it's at some point, the credit goes out the window. Okay, so I put them on my dinky little platform, but dude, they took the ball and they ran with it, and they have single-handedly changed the manosphere, man. They really, really have. They really, really have. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I lost the chat. Oh boy, I lost the chat. Oh, hang on a second. Where is the freaking chat? The Science of... Oh, there it is. The Science of Cobra says, defended you against all your haters, but criticized Pearl and you get banned with emotional meltdown. Rollo called her a hack that is fake RP. That doesn't make much sense to me. defended you against all your haters, but criticized Pearl and you get banned. Nobody got banned for I don't know what he's saying. Yes, I had an emotional meltdown. Because some idiot in the chat was trying to insinuate that I was talking about Myron and Rollo when I talk about jealous content creators. That was untrue. So yeah, I had an emotional meltdown. Yes. And yes, Rollo did call her a hack. And Rollo is a good friend of mine. I respectfully and vehemently disagree with Rollo. I don't think Pearl is a hack. If Rollo wants to say she's a hack, that's fine. He has every right to say that. We are two different people with two different opinions on the same person. That's allowed. That's allowed. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, I think that's what you meant to say. I can't make, I don't know, am I with emotion and get banned with emotion? Whatever. No. No, I banned, as a matter of fact, I've only banned one person today. And I didn't ban them because he attacked Pearl. I banned him because he tried to drive a rift between me and my friends, while simultaneously trying to regale me with the scholastic qualifications of a red pill groupie, one Torsha. I'd had enough. And yeah, that was pretty fucking emotional. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Real Bravado. Oh, wow. Real Bravado Network with the $50 super chat. Says this is why even when others trying to trash or so call you on the, oh boy, wait a minute, hold on. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. This is why when others trying to trash you on the air or oh boy. This is why when others, sorry guys, I think I'm getting dyslexic here. Says this is why even when others trying to trash or so call air you out, you always have good things happen because you take joy in other success. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah, and then he said, sorry about the typo in the last comment. Oh, yeah, no problem. Okay, thank God. I was like, man, maybe I was getting dyslexic. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think the reason why I take genuine, the reason why it gives me a genuine sense of satisfaction to see other people succeed that I helped out a little bit is because I've had my success. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I've got all the money, I've got all the toys, you know, this and that and the other. And, you know, I like to see talented people. I like to see talented people who do good work succeed. I like to see that, man. I like to see that. You know, I think for me, I don't know how it is with other people, but I like sharing. How can I put this? I like other people being, how can I put this? I like other people being successful with me, right? Like, I'm not a guy, and listen, there are a lot of guys that are the opposite, but that doesn't make them bad people. That's just who they are. I take tremendous, I don't know why that is, I really don't, but I take, like, it gives me tremendous pleasure and a great sense of pride to see people that I've helped in some small way just fucking kill it. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool, man. I just like being successful with other people, you know? I'm not the guy who has to, you know, own anything, you know? I'm really not. Like, dude, I could be, like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I could be feeling some type of way. Well, you know, Myron and Fresh have 1 million subscribers. Kevin had 1 million subscribers. Pearl has 1 million subscribers. Why don't I? I don't see it that way at all, man. I don't see it that way at all. The reason why Kevin reached 1 million subscribers is because Kevin was, number one, he was good at what he does. Number two, he was the first ones to bring the conversation to the public. No one had ever done what Kevin had done, ever. That's why he blew up. I wasn't doing what Kevin was doing. Same with Fresh and Fit. Dude, Fresh and Fit have these, you know, these Miami yacht thoughts on every single night and dunks on these broads every single night. Why am I going to be mad that they have more subscribers than I do? I'm not doing what they're doing. You know what I mean? Then there's Pearl. You know, well, why does Pearl have 800,000 subscribers when she was on my... No, dude. Pearl just did an interview with Brittany Renner, Andrew Tate. She has the pregame podcast where she brings people off the street to talk about this stuff. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not doing what they're doing. That's the bottom line. Next year, I will. Next year, I will. 100%. I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid, man. I've seen this. I have seen this formula, this model become successful way too many times. Like, dude, I would be an idiot. I would be an idiot to just sit here and sulk. No, the reason why their channels are bigger than mine is because they create better content than I do. Have you guys noticed? My channel has become a reaction channel. I react to the best content out there. I can't feel professional jealousy if their channel is not the same as mine. And so if I want to, so instead of being all bitter and sulking about it, no, I pick these people's brains. Hey man, how do you recruit? How do you decide talking points? What's the blah 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 blah? For the past 5 or 6 months, I've been working on things behind the scenes so that I can also have a fresh and fit / just pearly things type of show. And with any luck, with hard work and some luck, maybe I can attain the kind of success that they've attained on their channel. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. If you want to be successful, do what other successful people are doing. I don't think that's complicated. I think it's pretty simple. But yeah, man, I like seeing other people succeed, man. It's just I don't know. All right. Oh boy, yeah. Devin says that this is not a Stoic Sigma channel. No, it is not. Oh my God, Devin, don't mention. Oh, dude, don't get me started. Sigmas, don't get me, dude. Sigmas, get out of here. Listen, Sigmas, you guys are the super alphas. We should all be more like you, Sigmas. I don't want you Sigma idiots in my comments anymore. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. Anytime I do a Sigma video, oh my God. Dude, I'm losing 300 and 500 subscribers. It's a sight to behold. Woo. Wow. Roderick Thomas says, Donovan, true example, no matter how life gets you, you can still be successful and help others. High value men. Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think the reason why and this is one thing that Kevin told me that I should have done, because, he I didn't launch Kevin, but, like I said, I was a rung on his ladder of success. Same with Fresh and Fit. Kevin used to always tell me, Donovan, he's like, you're too nice, dude. Like, you give too many people your platform. Like, you need to start charging. Like, that's what and it makes sense, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think I could do that, man. I don't know. It's just weird. I think the reason why I'm so generous with my platform is because, like, this community's changed my life, man. Like, this community has changed my life. It's changed my life, man. And I don't know. It's almost like my way of giving back, It's almost like my way of paying back the universe for all of the bad that I've done. If I'm being honest. If there is a God, just understand, hey, like, don't send me to hell. I didn't completely fuck my life up. I wasn't a complete asshole. Act Fire with the 1.79 British pound super chat says, I'm new here, but hearing you talk, new fan. Appreciate that. The Science of the Cobra, $2 says the black guy is the most knowledgeable on her show. Yeah, Sarah Garvey. Dude, Sarah is awesome. That dude is an assassin. Man, oh man. And I'll tell you what, and I agree with you, the science of the Cobra. I agree with you. And I think that Pearl, I think that she learns a lot by having him on the show. I think that Sarah has made Pearl a much better orator of the talking points, for sure. Because that dude, he doesn't pull any punches. He lets him know. Sean Morris says, to be fair, YouTube has canceled you and you've had to start over. Yeah. Yeah, Devin says several times. Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic episode, guys. Fantastic episode. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I am going to go have a glass of wine, relax with my lady, and it's Wednesday, so there's no football on. So I don't know. We'll find something to watch on TV. But thank you guys very, very much for tuning in. Thank you for all of your super chats. Thank you for the support. Shout out to Just Pearly Things, 830,000 subscribers. Holy shit. Here's to another 830. Roger